Okay, first stream in like 3 weeks. Sorry for the longer than usual stream starting soon screen. I completely changed my setup. It's hopefully a little bit more streamlined for me. Hopefully that shouldn't affect the stream at all though. Anyway, hello Orium. Hello Cinema Roll. I also cannot be Everdark Gladius. I have tried twice. And it one-shots me every time, and I hate it. And I don't think I'm gonna be trying Everdark Gladius anymore. Hello, Executioner Smo, welcome. Um, no, excuse me. Today is the Greataxe, which is what I've actually been looking forward to for quite a bit. I used it a little bit for the Golem Axe run, just because it's a very easy axe to get. And I thought that the Golem Axe was a Greataxe, but it wasn't, obviously. So I believe this is the first stream where I'm actually using a Greataxe. Like, I've done the video with the Demon Greataxe. But I don't think I've done a stream with a Greataxe yet. No, I did the Dragon King Greataxe, actually. I don't know, whatever. Hello, Astro Lily, welcome. And hello, Quaylag. Wow, a brand new Dark Souls boss in the stream chat. That's crazy. Yeah, honestly, so I beat Everdark Amaris, which was actually pretty fun. I don't know why people hate Everdark Amaris, to be honest. And I did that with Aurora. And it was actually pretty close. It's a shockingly difficult boss for how gimmicky it is, right? And then I also beat Everdark Noster, which was really fun. I did that with randoms. I was playing Wilder with like a ton of extra fire damage. But those were both pretty easy. I did them both first try. And then I tried Everdark Gladius and got obliterated instantly solo. Hello, Deadest Man Alive, welcome. And hello, Seal. I mean, to be fair, it has also been like 3 weeks since I streamed at all. Because of personal stuff, I guess. I don't know, personal is a strong word, but real life stuff is probably closer. Alright, Executioner Smo, good luck with whatever it is you're going to be doing. Everdark Libra is better solo? I don't think I ever tried Everdark Libra. No, I did try to do... I don't remember. I think I tried Everdark Libra with someone, but we never actually made it to the boss? I don't know. I don't remember how true that is. We need, I think, 22 strength to wield it two-handed. Obviously, I'm going to do depth clip immediately to get the weapon. It's been a whole month already? Jesus. I guess I didn't stream for 3 weeks, so that makes sense. Thank you for the resubscription of the membership. That means a lot. Thank you so much. Hello, Franco. Yeah, things have been going pretty well. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers, which is insane to me. I never thought I'd reach 1,000, let alone almost 10K. I think it's either 150 or 250 away from 10K. I don't remember. I think it's 150, which is absurd. Speaking of like analytics and stuff, if you are enjoying the stream, I would super appreciate a like and all the other algorithm stuff if you can. If you're enjoying the stream enough for that, because it does genuinely help a lot. All of that really does. Hello, Alyssa. Welcome. I haven't turned a stream into a video in a while, have I? I'm trying to think the last one I did. Because I'm considering doing that with this one if it ends up being fun enough. Because the interesting thing about the Greataxe, which I won't really be taking advantage of in this run, but the interesting thing about the Greataxe is that it is the highest base damage weapon in the game, which you see. We can grab it here, even though it's like through the wall in an area that's not technically loaded right now. That's my favorite way to get the Greataxe. But it's a highest base damage weapon. So if we look in here, the battle axe is 95, the Greataxe is 140, and that doesn't include scaling. But the Greataxe gets to, I believe, 350 at plus 15. It's either 250 or 350. I'm pretty sure it's 350. And the way that elemental infusions work is it'll take that base damage and add your physical base damage and give you the same number as with an elemental base damage, right? So if I infused it with lightning at plus 15, I would have, or rather lightning plus 5, you get the idea. It would give me 350 physical and 350 lightning damage with no scaling. And that applies to every single weapon. So the highest possible AR for a lightning, fire, chaos. I think that's it. I think it's lightning, fire, and chaos infusions, because magic and divine, occult, and enchanted work slightly differently because they do have scaling. Thank you, Cinema Roll. Have I done a Great Club run? Yes, recently, I think. No. Have I? Okay, I don't know if there was any point in freeing him, to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to be using power then. Either... I think I did the Great Club run a couple months ago. I'm trying to think if I put Giant Dad on the poll first or Great Club, because I know I was going to do them in successive polls. Because I was specifically asked to put them in different polls. Hello, Pasaka. Welcome to the stream. When I do the large club, I want to infuse it with enchanted, because as far as I know, that is the highest, like, AR in the game. Like the Demon's Greataxe is the highest physical AR, but with split AR, just like the raw number, I'm pretty sure the enchanted Great Club, not Great Club, Large Club is the highest in the game. But I don't know, infusions are weird. Oh my god, hyper mode Greataxe. I did that with the Demon's Greataxe, the highest possible AR. That was really fun. I don't think I'm going to be doing hyper mode in this run, but it would be very funny. I could definitely grab RTSR as I'm going through here to grab the very large number. A caveman run in Dark Souls 1? Castle areas? Thank you, Ice Cold Diet Peps. Welcome to the stream, and thank you for the good luck wishes. $22 months, that's a long time. God, sometimes I forget that I've had partners that long. My longest relationship in high school, or well, I mean, before recently, before my current relationships, was like 8 months. So when I remember that I've been in, you know, a couple of relationships for over 2 years, it's just like, what? People like me enough for that? But congratulations, that's really cool. I hope the call went well. Okay, I'm doing New Londo now just so I can grab the very large ember. There's no reason for me to do this, but I already have the large ember, and I think it'll be funny to just have the very large ember immediately. Obviously, I don't have the stats for the weapon yet, but that's not a big deal. Less than 4 months, yeah. I'm glad, no, I'm not glad we have similar experiences, but I think it's a funny coincidence, ow, that we have similar experiences in that way. Okay, let's see if I can not roll into the water. And hopefully have enough time to get up the ladder before I get attacked by the ghosts. Good evening, Gunnar. Welcome. the pretentious Pusaka. This might take a few hits, but it's fine. Yeah, whatever. Bars are forever. I think that could apply to a different kind of bar in a much funnier way. That staff has a poke. Why is he using the staff poke? I forgot that he does that. What a freak. When he has a perfectly good ghost blade right there. The worst weapon in the game. I wonder if the staff poke actually does more damage than the ghost dagger. Slash. Where to aggro's in one hit? He does aggro pretty quick. I think it's 2. But it's, I don't know, the aggro hit thing is weird. I've never understood exactly how it works. I know it's supposed to be like a certain number of hits in Dark Souls 2. I think it's a certain amount of damage in Dark Souls 1. And Ingrid barely has any health, so that's probably why. I don't know. The running up the stairs and around and dropping down is the way to bait the ghosts so they don't attack you on the ladder. I've been doing that since Minnow told me about it. So I've done it probably, you know, dozens of times at least, and I've only gotten hit by ghosts on the ladder one time ever. I'm gonna quit out so that the ghosts de-aggro and I hopefully I don't get shot by lightning. Fasadka. I just saw that. Really. Okay. I'm gonna grab RTSR. And then grab, hopefully grab the 2 chunks before I get obliterated. Rip Ingy, yeah. Full legal name Ruby Solar Pellets will be in the archives. Hopefully eventually this stream, we'll see. I imagine the Greataxe won't be a particularly difficult run. Okay, so far so good. Just don't get obliterated by the Dark Wraiths and everything will be okay. Slightly faster, as if I'm not getting the thing to max out my weapon before even fighting a single boss. It would be very funny, actually, to get a plus 14 before fighting the gargoyles. I could get a plus 15 Stray Demon. I don't want to fight Stray Demon. I mean, I have to fight Stray Demon, but I don't want to. As a slight disclaimer, I have been playing a lot of Elden Ring and Night Rain. Both of those together it's so confusing to like go back and forth between them because I've been doing a straight sword run with the Lordsworn straight sword, which is the highest crit modifier straight sword, with square off, and then the ornamental straight sword in my offhand, which is a super fun run, by the way. Highly recommend. But then I'll go to Night Rain and I'll have like surge sprint and all that, and I'll come back to Elden Ring and be going, you know, 2 miles an hour. And the game feels so slow. And I'll come to Dark Souls, where it's just a completely different game. And for some reason, my brain is still getting them a little bit mixed up. Not as bad as it used to when I first started switching between the games, but it's still to the point where don't expect me to play perfectly. I want the chunk, but I don't know if this is worth it. Anyway, I also haven't played Dark Souls in like 3 weeks almost, so that's another excuse for my speed. Not even in archives. I'll get there, it's fine. That's the second Lord area I do after New Londo, just later. Yeah, I could technically go fight Sif first. I would want my weapon to be plus 15. I don't know, actually, I could do it with the plus 10. There we go. Chunk? No chunk. Sad. Okay, this one, I should be able to lure off the edge pretty easily. Aggro? Aggro, thank you. Nice. I can grab the chunk in here, go get that chunk in the other chest. Do I care to survive? Yeah, I kind of want to keep these souls. There are soul items I could grab though, so that's not a big deal. Let's just start the king of backshots. The 4 kings got their position potentially being taken by the king of backshots. Okay. Okay. I guess I didn't care to live that much because I did not try at all to not get hit by them. I know this because I made it up right now. So true. Yeah, that wish. So, God, I have a mod for Dark Souls 1 actively in the works, and I need to finish it. I really, really want to finish it, but it's so tedious because the main thing that I wanted to do for that mod was to make infusions actually worth it. So I just manually buffed every single infusion. And I had to do that manually for every single weapon, right? So, every weapon, every infusion, I had to go through and change the values to what I thought would be well balanced, and I got through it eventually. And then turns out that some of the infusions were a bit too strong, some of them were a bit too weak, so now I need to go through and rebalance them again. And I really want to finish that mod just so that I can have a different play experience, but it's just, ugh, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I want to finish that mod because infusions are cool and they're bad, and I don't want them to be bad. Okay. Yeah, Divine, Occult, Magic, and Enchanted have scaling, but the scaling is weird and not good, and split damage already isn't good because of how damage calculations work. So what I've been doing is I've been going through and just like buffing the base damage on the infusions so that the split damage doesn't matter. Don't worry, you have time. The mod is probably not going to be done anytime soon. But I do really want to finish that. Hello, Green Archetype. Welcome. I just pressed Y to light the bonfire. Elden Ring is infecting my mind. Okay, oh, right. I should try to level up so I can actually use the weapon. What am I doing? This button. Okay. It's like 22 strength, I think. The requirement is 32, but for two-handing, I think it's 20 something. I mean, I want to get to 27 either way. Okay. I mean, I want to get to 32 either way, but this should be enough to two-hand for now. And gotta be naked. Really? Okay, Havel's Ring as soon as possible. What's the damage like? Quite funny for a +0 without requirements. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Come on. The Ring of Blind Ghosts. I actually repurposed the Ring of Blind Ghosts graphic for a different ring. But technically, I use the Ring of Blind Ghosts. I wish that ring was in the game, like when you killed Ingward. That would be so nice. It would be so useless. But it would make exploring New Londo so much easier. Elden Ring brainworms. I don't think I want to Google that, actually. Sorry. Oh yeah, the casual upwarp. I don't know. Elevators are boring. I don't know if it saves that much time RTA, but I don't care. It feels better. Switch Y and A. Jump by default is on A in Elden Ring. Whoa. Okay. But it makes sense that you swapped them. Ruby, slow at Dark Souls, solar pellets. Look, this weapon is heavy, alright? It's not an impossible drop. I think it's 5%. 20%. 5% is something else. I don't know. That's so much damage. Okay. I don't know. The halberd is a decently high chance drop, relatively speaking. But the reason people say it's a rare drop is because there are 2 Black Knight halberd knights in the entire game that aren't like in the kiln. So the only way you can get them before the very end of the game is by getting lucky either there or in the Tomb of the Giants, which is also very late game, right? So getting it from that one specifically is pretty lucky. Ruby Katubi. Yeah. It's a lot closer to my actual name. Not anymore. Well, Yeah, I did change my middle name, but I like the sound of Rukatu, so I'm keeping it. Winners of Lordran. Oh yeah. I've never actually played a mod that included the Ring of Blind Ghosts, but I definitely want to at some point. Like I just don't play that many mods in general. Um there's a mod. Oh, I don't remember the name. No chunk, that's unfortunate. I don't remember the name of the mod, but there's a mod that someone in my Discord server made, and they sent the link to the mod in the server. And I'm planning on making a video for that. I have it all recorded, and I have most of the script done, but I need to finish up that script. And potentially cover some changes that have been made in the 2 weeks that I didn't do anything on YouTube, so. Oh, I didn't grab the Crosscrest Shield. That's probably a good idea. I'm gonna go grab that. Good call. You need to pick up from the Crystal Lizards in Dark Souls 2, I think, but not Dark Souls 1 or 3, definitely. I did get the shield? Did I pick it up? Oh my god, I did pick it up. ADHD. What? I mean, to be fair, personally, I think the Greataxe Black Knight is harder than the Halberd Black Knight, just because there's literally only one in the game, and it's somewhere where you just, like, never encounter it unless you're actively going out of your way for it. Hey, a chunk. Speaking of chunks, I wanted to kill the Black Knight over here. Okay. ADHD. Yeah, Fading Flame. Fading Flame is... I think it's I'm pretty sure it's Fading Flame. That's the one that has the messer, right? Anyway, what was I talking about? I don't remember. Unmodding Dark Souls Remastered? Yeah, I mean, you just uninstall it and reinstall it. That's what, I mean, verify the integrity of the files on Steam after deleting, you know, the modded files, the CHR, map, directories, whatever. It's not too big of a deal, but you do have to, like, know which directories you need to reinstall. So I was not rung a single bell. Yeah, because I want to get a plus 15, because it'll be funny. Trust me, it'll be hilarious. It's gonna be the funniest. You respawned? Really? I'm that far away? I wasn't even far away. I was in Dark Route. Oh. That's really funny, actually. I didn't think it would respawn that close. This weapon is shockingly fast for being a Greataxe. I usually don't go plus 15 before the first spell, but it is quite funny to do so. Right. Drunk. I need 7. I have 4. Yeah, I just need to kill the other Black Knight. And then the 2 giant Sens, which I'm gonna go into Sens anyway, right now, for the large shards. I'm gonna go this way. DLC with a plus 10? I think it depends on the weapon. Because, like, I don't know, plus 10 dagger doesn't seem super fun. But, like, plus 10 broadsword could be fun, especially with, like, power within, maximizing your damage otherwise. Or just, like, you know, using other stuff. Personally, I don't think low damage runs on their own are super engaging. But when you add in other restrictions and stuff that, like, lets you get that higher damage regardless, like, I really love soul level 1 runs where you have literally no restrictions, so you can just trivialize certain bosses with different tactics than you would otherwise. So, like, instead of poise tanking Nito, you know, you can, like, get the Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring. Or whatever. I think runs like that are really fun. Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring of Fog combo to just trivialize Nito without even having to worry about poise or actual damage or whatever. Yeah, range is low, but I don't know. With my playstyle, generally that doesn't matter because jump attacks have good range anyway. And I don't know. I tend to try to get up in bosses' faces regardless most of the time. Artorias died in 3 seconds at level 1? Oh, like pyromancies and stuff? Yeah, that makes sense. Why am I killing these guys? This is unnecessary. Dying to Smo is ideal, but dying to Smo is tragic. I don't want to die to Smo. I don't like playing or watching them personally, but I do get it. Okay, 3 more levels and strength, and I'm not gonna level strength anymore because there's literally no reason to. So level 1 with like obscure weapons, I think is a lot more fun. I used giant blacksmith's hammer and reinforced fire club, right? Fire reinforced club, which is just like standard, so level 1 easy mode. But doing it with like dragon form punches or anything else really, I find to be a lot more fun. I don't know. Morningstar is available in Soul Level 1, which nobody talks about. And I think it's a really fun Soul Level 1 weapon, just because it's so unique. Jagged Ghostblade is also really fun. It's a really good straight sword. Not straight sword, curved sword. Kind of the opposite. That has almost no scaling anyway. So being at Soul Level 1 doesn't matter for its damage, but its damage isn't particularly high, so you're going to want to be maximizing it anyway. And then you can't rely on the crutch of having high vigor or endurance, right? So you just kind of got to get by with the weapon itself and what the game gives you. And then with that, like Power Within and whatever is super useful and kind of makes you play in a different way than you might otherwise in Soul Level 1, which, I mean, in Soul Level 1, you're probably going to get Power Within and whatever, but you're not having super high damage without it, right? So with a normal Soul Level 1 run, without any other restrictions, you can easily get by without Power Within, even without Pyromancy. But with something like the Jagged Ghostblade, it becomes not necessary per se, but extremely useful, like a lot more useful than it would be otherwise. Especially for like 4 Kings, where I actually prefer using Reduced Ring for 4 Kings generally, just because RTSR is better and it's super easy to proc on 4 Kings because of the sour spot damage being super low. Just gotta watch out for the tracking magic and heal before it. Dying to Smo is intended by Miyazaki. That makes sense. Michael is a character. I wonder what the rolling attack is. Oh, I was gonna say a bad time to use that, but never mind. Deprived of Soul Level 1? Yeah, I mean, I like that Pyromancer is... Hey, another Greataxe. That's really funny, actually. I like that I like that Pyromancer is Soul Level 1, just because it makes Soul Level 1 a lot more approachable. And is the only reason that I did Soul Level 1 in the first place. Like how Royalty is Soul Level 1 in Demon Souls. But it does make sense that Deprived would be Soul Level 1. Isn't the Deprived class in Dark Souls 2, doesn't it have a 6 across the board, not 11? Can't power stance? Yeah. If I could power stance, you have no idea how ready I would be for that. Okay, I should buy Titanite shards. Do I have a soul item? No. I'll grab a couple as I go through the archives. I actually want to upgrade now as much as I can. I think I get one. Oops, reinforce. No, it's 800. I mean, this guy is an easy 2k. Z is a strong word, but with a Greataxe. Oh god. Jesus. 3 hits to stagger. That's awesome. Stagger? Cool. This is very funny. Uh-oh. Greed. Everything's fine. Greed unpunished as usual. Uh-oh. Greed. Everything's fine. Alright. Hello, Soapyeen. Welcome. You've seen bigger. I've also seen bigger. Niven from Discord says hi. Hello, Niven. um, yeah, so teaching people about Dark Souls is why I like to make my videos the way I do. I've mentioned this quite a bit, but the biggest inspiration for my style of content is Illusory Wall. Just because a lot of what Illusory Wall does is very... I mean, if you've seen Dark Souls Dissected, you know what I'm talking about, where it's just teaching you about weird, obscure mechanics in the game. And when I do challenge runs, I like to exploit those. So rather than doing low damage, look how hard this is, I'm so cool for beating this Dark Souls challenge, I like to do, hey, did you know that Soul Level 1 is actually insanely easy if you just do this? That this random mechanic that you never heard of actually, like, trivializes the game, even if you have all these weird restrictions. Personally, that's my favorite type of challenge run to do and to watch, because it teaches me about the game. But most people don't do that kind of thing, unfortunately. Dark Souls 3 Deprived has 10s across the board? Is that Soul Level 1? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it is, right? Everything after Dark Souls 1 was deprived for Soul Level 1. Got banned off of Reddit. How do you even do that? There's two ways this could go. You could either be extremely woke or extremely bigoted. One of those is good. One of those is not. I forgot that I had a Reddit account. I think I make comments on there sometimes, and that's kind of it. Oh my goodness. I don't like to use Reddit, but obviously it's pretty useful to find certain things that don't have, like, full website discussions. And Reddit is just, like, the easiest forum to find in Google search results. Crunch. Yeah, Titanite demons are a little funky. Once you learn how to do them and their moves and stuff, they're not that bad, but they can definitely have some moments, you know? Direct access portals to Reddit and the archives. That's awesome. Pretty smart of Seath. A lot easier to find information that way. You know, in my brain, I should be getting stance breaks, but I'm playing Dark Souls 1. Elden Ring is messing with my brain. Like, for some reason, I'm like, oh yeah, this guy will fall over a bunch, and then I can hit him in the head and get a bunch of damage. But nope, that's not how this works at all. You might stagger. Actually, I don't know if the giants have stagger animations. Oh. I just got kicked by a giant. Oh. Okay, everything's fine. Never mind. I should have just stood back. I expected him to go farther. Okay, well. I don't need to kill the serpents this time, at least. I swear I'm good at this game. I just want the chunks. Dark Souls 1 and Elden Ring? Awful or hilarious? I mean, if you, like, ported all the enemies and gave them Elden Ring mechanics and speed and such, I feel like that could be a pretty interesting experience. But Dark Souls 3 would work a lot better, obviously. Okay. This might be too high. It was slightly too high. Okay. Here we go. Darken her abyss until I have 4 kings. It's kind of awesome that you got banned off of Reddit for that, to be honest. That's true. Elden Ring doesn't have Pasakas. Somebody should mod Pasakas into Elden Ring and then replace every enemy. Excuse me, hello? Every enemy in Elden Ring with the Pasaka. Every single one. Make all the bosses just giant Pasakas. The Elden Beast is actually kind of Pasaka-esque, huh? Not like super, but enough that my brain makes a connection. Abysmal jump. That one took me a second, and I'm kind of sad that it took me a second. Elden Base is closer to Moon Presence. Moon Presence has limbs. Elden Ring or Elden Base has. I guess it does have arms. I don't know. Elden Beast is like graceful and cool, and Presence is gross and cool and hot. Especially the spider scorpions. Especially the spider scorpions. Also, unrelated completely. How are we feeling about the chat in the top right instead of the bottom right? Because in the bottom right, it goes over the soul counter. And in my experience, that's made it kind of hard to read chat messages in VODs. So I moved it to the top right to hopefully make that, a little bit easier to read in VODs. So people don't have to have the chat replay open or whatever. Okay, that's half its health. And it's doing it again! I have to do this with the other one too. Ugh. Oops. No! Okay. Everything's fine. Shake right on my axe to light Dark Soul. That's the name of the video I make out of the stream. I'm gonna play the Elden Ring DLC since it came out. I did one playthrough solo, and liked some of it. I didn't like a lot of the bosses, to be honest. My favorite was Romina. Hated the spider scorpions. Actual worst thing in any game ever. I hate the spider scorpions with a burning passion, and they give me a panic attack every time I see one. But like, I don't know, a lot of the— oh shit! I pressed the wrong direction. A lot of the major bosses are pretty in my opinion. Oh, that's actually so mean. I don't think I'm gonna be recovering from this one. That's unfortunate. If you managed to kill the giant before ringing the bells, the gate just wouldn't open. That would be preferable. Don't mind the things happening on screen. Just pretend that I'm doing sun skip. Oops, not that one. Oh god. I pressed the wrong button. Okay. Sun skip happened again. Anyway, yeah, major bosses in Elden Ring DLC. I didn't like most of them, but I'm hoping that I will enjoy them more this time through, because I haven't played them in a long time, and I've come around a little bit on Elden Ring. I did a second playthrough with someone in Seamless, with Minnow actually, and oh god, we made it we beat it, obviously. And playing with someone who actually knows how to play the Souls games is a lot better for the difficulty of the DLC. Just gonna be a little bit cautious about that. And we made it to, or we beat Primer Dawn, unpatched Primer Dawn, and I think it took us 2 or 3 hours. So if that gives you a good gauge of the difficulty if you never played pre-patched Primer Dawn. Funny that both Radons got nerfed into the ground. just because they were so unbelievably overtuned. Ruby Day indeed. It is a Wednesday where I'm actually capable of recording. I could grab Slumbering Dragon Crest or Nito. That could be funny. I have a big weapon. It's fine. Dual Bleed Whips. That's hilarious, though. That's such a good build. I mean, it's not a good build at all, but it's funny. I would insist on that, too. I also beat pre-patch base game Radon and hated it. I did use summons, though. But I was like level 70, I think, using a magic build and did not enjoy it very much. I did Radon summonless for the first time yesterday, and I had like a plus 17 and Lordsworn Straight Sword, and then a plus 9 Ornamental Straight Sword with square off, so I was getting dance breaks and doing a ton of damage and stuff, but it was pretty fun. Just surprisingly, for how much I usually don't like Elden Ring or Radon. Yeah, I would have fun with that build too, that's hilarious. Summons? Radon, base game Radon with summons, I think is one of the coolest moments that FromSoft has ever done. I love how epic the fight is. I do not love how slow it can be if you're not dealing most of the damage yourself. But I think it's still a pretty great, like, just really, really cool fight. Okay. I'm just gonna be a little bit more careful with this one, because if he does this, it's a little bit more difficult to dodge. Oh, okay. I'll be a little bit more careful not to miss any attacks this time. He's not gonna have any butt cheeks after this. Poor guy. Not that he has much going on right now, but, you know. There we go. Alright, good luck doing whatever it is you're doing, Smo. Thank you for being here while you could. Okay, I might as well grab that key as well. Back to being ambiguously evil. Talking to the giants before killing them? I haven't, because they immediately try to kill me when seeing me. So, that's not my fault. I've done a lot of Elden Ring runs. I think I have almost 500 hours in Elden Ring, which is still less than half the time I have in Dark Souls 1, but it's more time than I have in any of the other Souls games, which is unfortunate, because I prefer Dark Souls 2 and 3 significantly. But I've done Ornamental Straight Swords, I've done St. Trina's, which was extremely underwhelming. I want to use the DLC St. Trina's at some point, but getting that early game is annoying. I've done Bloodhound's Fang, obviously. I've done... What else have I done? I tried to do Grafted Dragon, but I didn't like it very much. I don't know. I need one more. I could get the one in Blighttown. I could also just use a soul item for 4,000. Is this one 4,000? I think this Proud Knight is 2k. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. Purchase. Large. Okay. And now... Oh, wait. I didn't get the... That's fine. The elevator. Yeah, but the Eternal Sleep is better, right? On the DLC Straight Sword. So, like, for Godskin Duo, it just kind of trivializes them completely. Ran against her litter box. That seems like a very cat thing to do. Okay. Force this to +5. I'm gonna need 3 more of those. This to +10. And then, oops, modify. I'm not gonna have enough souls to get this to +14. But I am gonna go kill the gargoyles now. Actually, I'm gonna go kill Stray Demon. Stray Demon with a +11 should be fine. And that'll give me a bunch of souls. More than enough to get this to +15. And hopefully get my strength up to 32. And then I can start leveling endurance. So I can actually not wear Havels the entire game. What other rings do I have? RTSR. Probably won't use RTSR on Stray just because getting the RTSR set up is riskier than I'd like. Ruins does strike damage, or does standard damage? Standard damage is such a tragedy. Okay, I have a partner who says tragedy wrong as strategy, and I always forget that she intentionally says it wrong. So in my brain, I had to fight myself to figure out if strategy or tragedy was correct. Oops. Oh, damn it. Anyway. Standard damage is a tragedy in Dark Souls or the Souls games. It shouldn't exist. I'm just gonna grab those for brevity. I'm tempted to grab the Morning Star, but I think the Greataxe would just be faster at this point since it's +11. But the Eternal Sleep does guarantee the sleep, right? So if you sleep an enemy with the normal Saint Trina sword, and then attack them after it's asleep, it won't actually do the stagger animation. But with the Eternal Sleep, it will guarantee the stagger animation, even if you attack the enemy after it procs asleep, but before it does the animation. So, you tried early Stray? I have in the Bandit's Knife run. I did it pretty much immediately because the extra 20k souls right off the bat was useful. I'll probably do it in the Uchi Katana run as well, which should be next week, assuming nothing goes wrong and I'm able to stream next week. I'm hoping to also do a Demon Souls stream next week, but we'll see how that goes. Sleep with an enemy. I'd prefer a Pasaka first. How's your day been? Have a good day, Koth. Welcome, or thank you for being here while you could. My brain decided to say the complete wrong thing. I feel like that Markiplier meme. My name is Welcome. Ow. You're so Portuguese. Okay. Alright. Brain rot kicked in. Sleep with a bit of chaos? Same. I don't know. I think standard makes sense with a couple weapons. Demon's Greataxe comes to mind because, like, it's an axe, but it's blunt. And it could deal strike damage, or yeah, strike damage. Is it called strike damage in this game? Actually, I don't remember. Yeah, strike damage. But I don't know. Yeah, this does standard damage as well instead of slash. Hello? There it is. Dark Souls 3 SOP? What's SOP? Wait, with one Dark Souls, it would be the Sewer Centipede from Dark Souls 3. Sewer Centipede. Sewer Centipede. Oh, those things. No, I get it. I could do that today. That's definitely an option. I was planning on waiting for 10k, but I'd be absolutely happy to do Dark Souls 3 Smasher Pass today. Yeah, Axe is doing standard does make sense, because, yeah, wait, but... Yeah. Like, the sword's having not having slash damage is very strange indeed. Siemens Doles, indeed. With how often he's in the hospital and can afford it, true. The mark of a rich person, being able to afford hospital bills. Any game that doesn't have Pasakas is just a worse game than Dark Souls 1, unfortunately. Okay, there's our plus 15 before ringing the first bell. Now, we can go obliterate the gargoyles and Quelaag. Level up strength a bit to 32. And endurance up a tiny bit. Alright, we're gaming. How far are we in? Almost an hour and we haven't rung the first bell. It's okay. Oh no. Don't worry, it'll be quick and painless. Actually, it'll probably be quite painful, but it'll be quick. I could RTSR on Quelaag. That'd be funny. As grappling hook? You know, that's fair. I prefer Pasakas to grappling hooks, but I get it. That's very fair. I need... excuse me, why are you turning around? Go! God damn it. Okay, this is very unfortunate. I'm shocked I survived that, though. Okay. Anyway, I want a mod for Elden Ring so bad that adds all of Wilder's abilities. Like, there's the one... Oh my god. There's the one that adds... RTSR is not necessary on these guys. There's the one that adds the... I forget what it's called, but his ult and his sword. And then also the surge sprint, but it doesn't add the grapple, so it's like, what's the point of even adding Wilder's moveset if you're not going to add the best part? But, alas. Nobody has done it, and I don't know how to do it, otherwise I would. I'm genuinely shocked I survived that. All axes in Dark Souls 2 to pure slash. Cool. That's actually really cool. Steak driver? Yeah, something like that. Take Holster to a sushi dinner? I don't know, you can take me to a sushi dinner instead. I'm a Wilder main, so it's close enough. And sushi, oh my god, happens to be my favorite food. Oh my god. I swear I'm good at the video game. Jesus Christ. Okay, everything's fine. Onslaught steak, yeah. Bonk. Honestly, the range shouldn't be that much of an issue. I'm just bad. A mirror next to my TV. That's so real. The least played Nightfarer? That's a good question. I so rarely see Duchess and randoms, but I also see Duchess all the time in, like, you know, YouTuber runs, because Duchess's restage is incredible, especially paired with Iron Eye's mark and the damage that Recluse or Raider can output. So, like, I think actually if you have the double mark ability, or I mean if you just time it right, you can mark an enemy, pop that mark, remark it, and then restage, and then the restaged mark pop damage will pop the second mark, which is insane. So it's probably not Duchess. Duchess is my secondary, actually. I love playing Duchess, but she's so useless on, like, Caligo or Maris or whatever, which is really unfortunate. It's definitely not Recluse, because Recluse does absurd amounts of damage. Uh, it's probably Guardian, just because Guardian is terrible. It's probably Guardian. Guardian just has nothing going for him, except for, like, being easier to tank with than Raider, arguably, but, like, not being able to draw aggro, so the easier tank ability just isn't worth it. Executor is also probably not played a ton, but I don't know, a lot of people think he's cool, so probably gets played significantly more than Raider. Not Raider, Guardian. Raider's funny. I like Raider. Oh, I'm gonna grab Pyromancy Flame and get power within. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Night Rain? I am talking about Night Rain. Ian's hot. You know what? That's fair. A lot of people do probably play Guardian because he's hot. Bonk. You leave me no choice. Jesus Christ. I love high damage weapons. Those talons. I don't know. I like the skins where he wears shoes because the talons make me feel unbalanced and that makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, Night Rain is so poorly optimized. Ugh. It's unfortunate. Polearms are just, like, better on Iron Eye than Guardian. Guardian can make use of polearms, just not super well. So if you want to go for a polearm build, highly recommend Iron Eye. And also, Iron Eye is actually a good character with good skills and a good ult. Dating Libra? Neither of them are particularly my type. Personally, I'd go for Noster. Noster or Maris, actually. Noster primarily. Noster itself, not Fortis or whatever. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Fortis, like Fortress, but it definitely looks like it's Fortis. But yeah, the moth, not the scorpion. But Maris is a close second. What's going on with Duskbloods? Like, that's a switch to exclusive, right? Why did my voice do that? I don't talk like that ever. What is going on with Duskbloods? Is that, like, similar to Night Rain? Or, like, what's the deal with that? I haven't paid attention to it at all because I don't care about anything Nintendo does ever anymore. Yeah, Guardian's ult is okay for revives, but like Iron Eye is just better for revives anyway. It's Bloodborne 2? I thought it was like a PvE thing, like a group PvE co-op thingy. Alright, yeah. Is there a release date? Mothric love story. That's actually incredible. I love that. 8 PvPvE where the last player standing wins. Huh. Interesting. You know, damage isn't bad. Actually, in terms of DPS, that's not horribly dissimilar to Dragon Form, maxed out Dragon Form. Actually, I think I had power within for that fight, but still. Definitely better, but not by much. At least with Dragon Form, power within, and Greataxe without power within. Class selection like Nightfare is. Oh. How can you murder someone watching your stream? Illegally. Bloodborne Hunt Showdown, yeah. I think, honestly, the Bloodborne angle feels more like they're going for that for, like, marketing purposes. They're like, you guys remember Bloodborne, right? You want more of that, right? Look at this game that's nothing like Bloodborne. It's just like Bloodborne. That's how it feels to me. Need more Armored Core? Armored Core isn't my speed, unfortunately. I really tried to like 6. I know 6 is nothing like the other Armored Core games in terms of, like, controls and ease of play, but unfortunately it's really just not for me. I really wanted to like it, though. Remade Scrunkly. Duskblood's being locked at 30 would be awesome. Isn't, like, Switch to Elden Ring, like, garbage? When does Tarnished Edition come out? I'm not paying attention to any FromSoft news because I just, like, don't really care anymore. I prefer Night Rain to Elden Ring. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to pay attention to future FromSoft stuff. I don't know if I care enough to be honest. As much as I do definitely enjoy Elden Ring, I don't know if I care enough to, like, play their next Souls-like that goes even further into the extremely fast enemy playing Devil May Cry while you're sitting there playing Dark Souls. But also your weapon has one really cool attack that does a bunch of damage. Not Lucatiel set in Tarnished Edition. The Mirage set. Yeah, playing Elden Ring definitely killed my ability to care about them as well. Like, I do enjoy Elden Ring, but it's just, I don't want to keep pressing L2. Let me play the video game, please. Kingsfield remake. You know what? Kingsfield, like, reboot would actually go so hard. I would love that so much. 653 on the R2. What's the jumping attack? 681. Okay, that's pretty similar, actually. That's kind of surprising. Maybe I can kill Ceaseless before it falls. I don't think I can. Gonna be one hit off. Yeah. Very funny, though. I want to use my souls. But I also want to go get Power Within. But I don't want to die. I'm gonna get toxic immediately. Oh, I guess I can put on... Okay, I will be doing my best to run up Blighttown unarmed in the gold hem set. So I don't get instantly toxic. Is this mid? Okay. I am gonna unequip that. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Night Rain. Maybe it's just Michael. Michael, that's fallen off. Night Rain is just like Elden Ring if the enemies and the player were on equal footing. Well, I mean, it's not in terms of gameplay loop, but in terms of, like, combat. And I really, really like that. But in terms of just, like, feet to the ground Souls game, Elden Ring just does not do it nearly as much for me. What do you mean Dark Souls 3 has no challenge outside the boss fights? The boss fights are the easiest part of Dark Souls 3 until you get to, like, the DLC. And even then, I don't know. Elden Ring, I would argue it's the same thing, actually. Like, Farum Azula is one of the hardest parts of any Souls game, in my opinion. I've had the Sekiro parry. Yeah. Yeah. So the overworld doesn't work? I mean, They like, they wanted that. That's why they gave you Torrent. But I think the overworld is more like, okay, you just fought a boss. Now chill out, explore a little bit before you get to the next boss, you know? Like cool down after that boss fight. I'm tempted to just rest in Blighttown just in case. I don't want to climb back out of Blighttown. I'm just going to use the souls here at this bonfire and then climb out of Blighttown. That's not a big deal. I mean, there's a Sekiro anime. Does that count? Wasn't there something about it being made with AI or something? I don't know. Okay. Endurance and vitality. That might let me use this. Maybe if I do that. Okay. Honestly, if the legacy dungeons in Elden Ring were more similar in design to like Dark Souls 3 level design, I'd probably enjoy it a lot more. It's the legacy dungeons in Elden Ring that I dislike the most. As much as I also don't like a lot of the boss fights. Like Malekith jumping around all over the place is so frustrating to me. On top of like Morgott with his 12 spin hitboxes. Stuff like that. I don't know. It's like I can have fun with Margit with his 5-minute delay staff slams, but it is also very trial and error, which I don't super love. The combat, or the boss fights specifically, are very trial and error, which is like, I don't hate it, but when I'm going into a Souls game, I don't expect trial and error. Oh my goodness. I almost dropped my controller. Have you ever eaten Taco Bell? Yes. We have eaten Taco Bell together, and we regretted it. The Sekiro anime is all hand-drawn. I mean, I'm not paying for it either way, whether or not I watch it. So... You love Morgott as a fight? That's baffling to me. Okay. See. I should, in theory, be able to safely make it up this ladder. Yeah, I don't hate... Again, I don't hate the trial and error, like, style of Elden Ring boss fights. It's just not what I expected when I went into it, and I really had to, like, wrap my head around the fact that I needed to just deal with the fact that I am going to die in Elden Ring, and there's nothing I can do about that. Falling Star Beast, Fulgur Falling Star Beast was one of my least favorite bosses in Elden Ring, and now I've gotten to the point where I can kill it relatively consistently at the levels that you're supposed to fight it at. Where the hell did you come from? This was the one that I passed while going up the ladder. I forgot. A Souls-like you can enjoy? I mean, you like Bloodborne, don't you? Mother Crab's Treasure got boring? Personally, I really love the Bleach King. I didn't really like the final boss fight, but it was fine once I got over not using the spells or whatever. Thymesia is great. I love Thymesia. Thymesia is super good. Steel Rising was fun. Lies of P is okay. Probably my least favorite indie Souls-like that I don't super love. If that makes sense. Oh my god. Actually, I don't know. I think I like Lies of P more than Steel Rising, just because Steel Rising is too easy to cheese and kind of disincentivizes a lot of the cooler builds, just because it gives you an ice gun at the beginning of the game that trivializes everything. Otherwise, I think Steel Rising is pretty great, but Lies of P. I also haven't beaten Lies of P yet. Mortal Shell is also really good, but I feel like it takes a minute to get into. You have to learn like how the parrying works and stuff. Titan Souls is really great. I love Titan Souls. Death's Door. Death's Door is really, really good. Anthony, have you played Death's Door yet? I don't remember. Prefer the Black Knight Greataxe? I forgot I've also done a stream with the Black Knight Greataxe. Yeah, I think I prefer the Black Knight Greataxe as well as the Dragon King Greataxe. Dragon King Greataxe is probably my favorite Greataxe. But granted, it doesn't have much competition. Honestly, Liza P, it's not even that it's stiff, it's just like... I don't know. It's not repetitive. That's not the word I want to use, but it's like once you get into the flow of it, it's just that. There's nothing else to it. There's like you can stop relying on parries and just nerf yourself into the ground, or you can only use deflex and nerf yourself into the ground. But when you're using your full moveset, you know, the deflex and dodges and positioning and everything to your full advantage, it gets super easy to do that and super boring really quick. Death's Door is so good. I love... Death's Door is one of my favorite games of all time. To this day, fun fact, I am still the only person in the entire world, as far as I know, who has beaten Death's Door without rolling. So, okay. Someone... I don't remember the language they spoke. I think German was the language the video was in. Don't quote me on that. I could be completely misremembering. But somebody else did do a no-roll run of Death's Door. But they rolled in the tutorial. And I watched the full video to make sure they didn't be like, oh, but actually you can do it like this. You can beat all of Death's Door without rolling, and I'm the only person in the entire world to have done that. I should remake that video. That was a really good video. Really fun to do. Really well edited for how long ago I made it, but also like I hate my voice in it. Then I'm also the only person, as far as I know, to have beaten Tunic without rolling. That one was really fun. I love Tunic so much. Have you played Bloodborne? I have played Bloodborne, and that was a long time ago. I want to play Bloodborne again at some point. I want to do a series on it like I did with Dark Souls 3, that 8.5 hour video. But I don't know. The atmosphere is really good. It's very strong, but I prefer the atmosphere of Dark Souls 2, right? And Demon Souls by far. The fashion in Bloodborne, in my opinion, is kind of boring. Not bad, just kind of samey all the way through. And the trick weapons, I prefer like more unique weapons on their own, but trick weapons are fine. Need 2,000 more souls, that's fine. I'll get that later. Only the person who actually is being pinged sees the ping. So, it did ping if you type the name correctly. Ah, I forgot. Stopped paying attention to the video game. I don't know. I don't love trick weapons. Just because if I would rather be able to use a similar moveset two-handed, and just like get better use or better damage out of it with the downside of more stamina use or whatever. Or like and disabling my offhand rather than here's a completely different weapon. Good luck. I don't know. Like, it's a cool idea. I just don't super love it because it feels like you're building around two weapons at once instead of just one. Or like you are forced to build around two very specific weapons, and if you want to use anything else, you have to completely change your build, especially with how limited upgrade materials are in Bloodborne. The Grand Lance is so much fun and is so underrated. I love the Grand Lance so much. Yeah, I think I'm good. I don't think a rock is going to be pushed down here. Okay. Have a good night, Goylag. Thank you for being here while you could. I hope you feel better once you wake up. Also, on the topic of Tunic, if you're going to play it, actually, play it. There's no if, just play it. But also, do not look anything up. Go in as spoiler-free as possible. It makes it so much better. I love Tunic. And going into it, day one, completely blind, was the best experience I have had with a game in a long time, aside from, like, Dark Souls 1. I used the Grand Lance and Dark Souls 3 for, like, the latter half of the game. And it was fun, but it doesn't compare to the Dark Souls 2 Grand Lance at all. I hate Cinders. I hate the Cinders mod for Dark Souls 3. It's so unfun. Because it's just like, everything big numbers. You die instantly, but they die quick too. Good luck. I don't know. I don't like it. Same with the Elden Ring mod of the similar scaling changes. Yeah, Tunic is very much one of a kind. There are other games that try to do similar things. Like, I know Tunic is very, very heavily inspired by Fez, for instance. Jesus, this damage is insane. But there's also, like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Animal Well is actually a very similar experience to Tunic. It's different enough that I wouldn't say that if you liked Tunic, you're going to like Animal Well. But Animal Well is very, very good and gives very similar vibes. Convergence. I might have been thinking Convergence. I don't think I know what Cinders is. Convergence is the one that I don't like. I don't know. I don't remember. We'll burn down the studio. Are you anywhere near Australia? I know I will be playing that game because someone told me that they would buy it for me, so I would play it. So I will absolutely be playing Silksong, and I'm very much hoping I'll enjoy it. I like Hollow Knight. I don't love Hollow Knight, but I'm hoping that I'll like Silksong significantly more. I'm expecting to, at least. The movement looks a lot more fun. Ornstead and Smo. We're almost there. If someone wants to ping Fukushin in the Discord. Actually, I don't remember what the Discord name is. It might be Smo. I don't know. Someone wants to ping them before we get there. Oh. Yeah, I personally haven't been keeping up with Silksong news, but the person who said they were going to buy it for me, said, or has been keeping up with it, and by proxy has been keeping me up with it recently. It's coming out on the 4th? I don't remember. Insane muscle memory, the quit out? Yeah, I can't do it that quick in any other game, and I've been trying to learn how to do it quickly in the other games, but my Dark Souls 1 muscle memory always messes me up. You should play Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight's very good. It's not like, I don't know. I would say it's a game that you should absolutely play. But replying by default does ping if you don't turn it off. But it's not necessarily guaranteed to if you have it off by default. Bonk, by the way. I was not expecting to one-shot that gargoyle. I was gonna do Hollow Knight before Silksong came out. And at least fight Radiance, because I've never done that. But, like, I don't know. Hollow Knight really does not hold my attention that much. I also went straight into Hollow Knight right after playing Celeste, and Hollow Knight, the platforming is so much floatier, and that threw me off so much. It was so difficult to play because of that. But I'm definitely gonna lock in once Silksong comes out. Speaking of Celeste, played that yesterday and I beat 7B. 7B is super hard, but very, very fun. I think I died 600 times, which is well over double the amount of times I died on any other level, including every other B-side. I think 6B took me like 250 deaths, and that was the most before 7B. But, you know. I'm planning on going into chapter 8 and hopefully doing 8B tonight. Oops. As someone who is playing Dark Souls for the second time this week, I definitely understand the struggle with playing new games, but I don't know. Once I find a good run and get locked into it, you know, that's like all I'm playing for a while. Which I'm kind of hoping will happen with Silksong, but we'll see. Also, my character name is Large Axe, if no one noticed. I thought that was funny because the character I overwrote was called Large Father, which was last week's stream. Or the stream I did 3 weeks ago. Which was the last time I played Dark Souls before yesterday. 7B is peak. The chapter 3 section sucks because chapter 3 sucks, but 7B as a whole is very, very good. And the final section definitely just takes it over the edge. 7B is so good. Most of my deaths in 7B were to checkpoint 2 and checkpoint 9. Those two took so many attempts, and I have no idea why. I need to use Power Within. Getting sucked into clicker games is so much fun, though. I don't even blame you. I started Soul Level 1 Dragon Form only yesterday. I'm hoping to finish it tonight and turn that into a video this week, but we'll see. Wait, that didn't stagger? What? Let me out. I should level up my Estus. Year of the Crab update. Are there new bosses and stuff? Also, what the hell? That did a lot of damage. Uh-oh. I'm spamming roll because I'm used to Elden Ring. The last time I used Dragon Form was in the Nothing run. Wait, no, I used it in the highest DPS one, huh? New Game Plus and other fun bonuses. Okay, yeah, I haven't played that yet. Maybe I should do Year of the Crab Shellless. That could be fun. Yeah, last time I properly used like Dragon Form punches and stuff was in that Nothing video. The very first Dark Souls challenge run I did. And I mostly used Pyromancy for that run. Modded Dark Souls 1 to call you the F-Slayer whenever you die. That's awesome. I really need to change my Estus flask for the Estrogen flask. I think that would be fitting. Yeah, the Dragon Roar buff only lasts like a few seconds, right? Which makes it very difficult to use for most things. And why I don't really care to use it for DPS. Okay, I must have waited too long. 3 hits. Get the charge out of the way. Yep. Getting attack. Bonk. Instability damage too. We like to see it. Oh my goodness. Okay, I could have greeted out that last attack. That's fine. Extremely difficult boss fight. Barely made it through that one. Hitless ONS, by the way. Like determination, Royal Knights was off. I mean, it kind of is if you use it quickly enough, but it also obliterates your stamina. So, but yeah, that's how I end up using it most of the time. I kind of want to level up endurance a little bit more, so I can wear this without favor and protection. Welcome back, Executioner Smo. Welcome back from the dead. Well, look. Now it just seems like you couldn't talk because you were fighting me, and then you died, and then came back from the dead in my stream chat. So arguably, that's funnier. Transient gendering IRL. I mean, it just changes your animations. Well, I mean, now you don't need to worry about your pipes being clean, so it's fine. It's the thought that counts. Look, if we're boiling gender down to how you walk, I think that's a problem. That's a great transmed ideology right there. Yeah. Every time I kill an enemy, I get an extra viewer in the stream. 114 views so far. I don't know how many enemies I've killed, but I'm sure it's nowhere close to that number. You know, having health for the Hydra makes it so much better. I did it soul level 1 yesterday for the Dragon Form video. And, not great. Soul level 1 Hydra is, like, probably my least favorite thing in soul level 1. Oh my god. I'm surprised that missed me. The IRL character customization mirror. Oh, you know, I could have live chat viewable. I don't know why I don't do that. I can't, like, put it up on stream for obvious reasons, but I can, like, view it. One-shotting crystal golems is killing you? To be fair, that's not that uncommon. Holy... that's... Are we gonna do 3 heads? Okay, no, 4. Still, that is insane. I probably could have done 3 if I used power within. Oops. Come on. There we go. I mean, they have like 400 something health and they're weak to strike damage, so it depends on what weapon you're using. But most of the time, yeah. You one-shot them pretty easily. One moment. Changing things. Okay. Everything's fine. I now have live chat that I can see personally. I don't think I'm gonna one-shot the golden golem, but I might. Maybe if I have used a jump attack, but I don't think so. Trying to get the Demon Souls remake. Huh. I mean, it's a very different vibe. As far as I know, most of the frame data is exactly the same. Like gameplay wise, it's very similar, but the vibe is definitely very off. The Demon Souls remake music is awful compared to the original. I love the original soundtrack, but Demon Souls remake has awful soundtrack in my opinion. I don't know. I can't see the name. Oh, I can't see the question rather. It's too high up for me to see, and in order to scroll up, I would have to exit the game again, or tab out of the game again. That's a lot of effort. I also don't know if it would show it to me. I unironically love the OG Tower Knight theme. But like the remake just makes it so underwhelming. It's like in the original, it's like, oh my god, this is a big fucking enemy. Here we go. And then in the remake, it's just kind of, oh, I put battle theme. Okay. Maiden Astraea, that theme also got obliterated in the remake. Armored Spider, I think, is another one that I didn't super like in the remake. Also, a lot of the songs like, I forget what they're called. Devourer of Souls or whatever. Demon Souls makes your head hurt? The original or the remake? Yeah, giving all the bosses... Is it all the bosses? Their own unique theme is good. But the original theme is just better. Yeah, character creation theme. Souls of Mist. The original Souls of Mist is just the best song. But... yeah. The original? Huh. That's really unfortunate. I love Demon Souls a lot. Okay, power within. Gonna chug. Bonk. Oh my god. Bonk. I love those numbers. Come back. Come back. Come on. Here we go. Big number, funny indeed. Okay, Fire Link. Now we've had the 4 kings. I'm gonna put this on before I forget. Oh, oops. I think I failed to put it on. I did. Okay. And level that up a little bit. Hopefully I can fast roll. Crash Shield isn't gonna matter with Power Within, so that's fine. I kind of want to RTSR. Then I'll have to be naked. Will this be fast roll? It will not. Will this be fast roll? It will! Okay. That's fine. I don't need a shield. Yeah, if you're enjoying the stream, would greatly appreciate a like. It does help a lot. among all the other algorithm stuff. If you're not subscribed, 10,000 subscriber special. I'm gonna be very drunk and attempting to play Dark Souls. And also we'll have a face cam and we'll... I don't know, we'll see. It will not be on YouTube though, because it will absolutely not be YouTube friendly. So, you know, maybe subscribe if you want to see that. "13 years to finally get good at the Four Kings." Oh my god, ow. I don't know, I feel like Four Kings is one of those bosses that's like... it's unnecessarily hard for your first playthrough, and then after that, it's just like so easy to learn compared to a lot of other bosses. Though, that said, the tracking magic is really dumb and annoying. Hello, Marissa. Thank you for popping in, and thank you for the good day wishes. I hope you also have a good day. Lily, thank you so much. Thank you for the membership. Okay. Okay. Ah, everything's fine. That's funny damage. Jump attack? Oh, the whiff. Okay. Unfortunately, I do need to play kind of safe. Okay. Thank you so much, Lily. That does mean a lot, genuinely. Gonna swear drunkenly? It's not the swearing that's the issue. At least, I hope it won't be the swearing that's the issue. Okay, I don't know. That's not good. Definitely don't want to get hit by that. I am gonna heal. That's not good. That's sweet spot. Oh. I actually did the opposite. Four Kings was the first boss I poise-ticked through in my first playthrough. And then Manus was the second. Actually, Nido was the second. Manus was the third. 13-year stamina management skill issue. Understandable. I'm gonna do this. So hopefully that won't be an issue anymore. The stream would be on Discord. If I did post a VOD, I'm not sure where I would be able to upload that. However, I will record it and upload a potentially heavily censored version onto YouTube as like a video, because I think it'd be funny to just like have the full screen blurred out at all times. Can I confess to chat? Chat, we've been together for a long time, you know, and and I don't think my feelings for you are gonna go away. I don't know if that's the kind of confess you meant, but that's funnier. Okay, think about how often I get flirted with, how often we talk about smash or pass style stuff. You know, the Pasakas, for instance. Also the fact that the majority of my community is trans women, queer trans women. I'm not sure if that would get my channel flagged or not. I don't know. I'll figure out somewhere to do that. Repair. Okay, I will attempt to be repaired. Okay, one more. Nice. Thank you. Now I need to be a little bit cautious. Oh my god. That damage is actually ridiculous. Okay, potential 2 kings fight. Don't magic, don't magic, don't magic, don't magic, don't magic, don't magic, don't magic! Okay. That's also magic, but it's less bad, potentially. Okay, fine. Thanks, fine. That was greedy. That's unfortunate. We could definitely do Dark Souls 3 Smasher Pass. Like, right after this stream. I'd be happy to do that. Sisters in Arms, yeah. You know, this would be a lot easier if I wasn't doing RTSR. Sullivan's clone? I don't know, I can mention it. Just to make Sullivan mad. Confess all of your deepest sins to chat. I think Malakath is secretly peak. I unfortunately do genuinely hate Malakath. I don't know. What's my deepest sin? Trying to think of bosses that most people hate that I don't. I think Bed of Chaos is pretty cool. Ludenzalen is my favorite Dark Souls 2 fight. Shulva is my favorite DLC. That one's normal, actually. I think Dark Souls 2 is significantly better than Dark Souls 3. That's relatively normal in my community. This isn't hyper mode, it's RTSR. Look, if I was going hyper mode, this would be going a lot less well. I'm not saying a lot. I am working on a video talking exclusively about how much I love Ludenzalen. So. I don't hate Bloodborne. I think Bloodborne is pretty cool. I prefer most Souls games to it, but I do like Bloodborne quite a bit. Poise tanking without poise here. Okay, one more. Not that one. Small issues such as... Stop doing this! What are your said small issues in Dark Souls 2, out of curiosity? That wasn't... Why was that sweet spot damage? Catacombs and Tomb is your favorite Dark Souls 1 level. I don't think that's that bad of a sin, to be honest. I'm just gonna do power then. For my sanity. Okay. Peak level design, poor character mechanics? Oh. What do you mean poor character mechanics? That doesn't make sense to me. Have a good night, Smo. Thank you for being here while you could. Sleep well. I think Demon Souls has the most interesting level design, if not the best. I think Dark Souls 2 has the best level design, actually, by quite a wide margin. Dark Souls 2 also has the best music. I love Shrine of Amana. Shrine of Amana is so overhated. I think the durability mechanics in Dark Souls 2 is simply the best durability system in any of the Souls games. In Dark Souls 1, it's a mild inconvenience if you happen to forget about it. And in Dark Souls 3, it is not a thing. But in Dark Souls 2, it actually matters, and they work around it with a lot of things, with like the length of the levels and the DLC, and expecting you to use multiple weapons and actually giving you the resources to do that. And it just like feeds into so many other things, you know? Like with Dark Souls 1, you get so few upgrade materials that you can upgrade one weapon to the max, and that's kind of it. With Dark Souls 2, you're expected to upgrade several weapons, basically constantly. Like, you should probably have a Twinkling weapon and a standard upgrade weapon, on top of Actually, probably multiple standard upgrade weapons. I messed that up really bad. Okay, everything's fine. It'll disappear eventually, and I can keep dodging it, but then that would probably not end up very well. Help! That's dead. Or that's bad. Not dead, but... Okay, everything's fine. Everything's A-okay. That's still stupid damage, and I did not need to... Oh, no. Okay, everything's fine. Everything's A-okay. Ah! I should have rolled in. Why didn't I roll in? I know what I'm doing, I swear. You can't prove otherwise. Okay, get out of here. Hello. Okay, heal. Everything's fine. Worst 4 Kings fight I've had in a very long time, but it's fine. Despite the absurd damage. Okay. Can still do 3 Kings despite the hiccups. Oh, okay. I like a lot of things in Dark Souls 2 that most people don't like, and it's primarily because of how they feed into other mechanics that I also really like. For instance, I love ADP because I'm trying to think of how best to describe it. It feeds into the fact that there are so many different ways to play Dark Souls 2, right? So if you don't level ADP, if you don't notice it, you're going to have a hard time dodging, and then you're probably going to get funneled into doing something other than dodging, right? And then instead of using those levels on ADP, you use them on, like, on endurance, so you can use a shield, right? Or maybe an extra damage stat, so you can rush down bosses without having to be good at dodging. You know, that kind of thing. And I think the fact that there are so many different ways to play the game really encourages ADP's existence in a lot of ways. There are significantly more than 5 Kings depending on what weapon you use. It's actually pretty easy to get 7 Kings to show up without anything extra. But you can get, I think it's up to 12 Kings or something like that. 11 or 12. Okay. Archives. Is the Bazooka still here? Once had 12, yeah. They left a while ago? Darn. That is unfortunate. I'll be sure to give them a consolation backstab for sure. I don't know. I don't mind the healing speed difference with ADP. Just because I usually get ADP to 20 anyway, but even when I don't, like, the speed difference is so minor that I don't notice it most of the time. Yes, 500 damage. My favorite. Good luck feeding your cats. Piss sucker. Here's you in spirit. There we go. You know, arguably, strike damage is the best damage type in Dark Souls 1. And the fact that the Demon's Greataxe does standard damage instead, it means you're doing significantly less damage to a lot of bosses that really need that extra damage. Like, Alamite, for instance. But I think it having standard damage is also kind of nice because you don't get the resistances from certain things. Like, I'm pretty sure Stray is resistant to strike damage. That doesn't apply a ton here, but like the boars, I'm pretty sure are weaker to strike damage. I don't know if that's entirely true, actually. Can you not do that one attack over and over? The one thing that cancels my running attack? Jesus Christ. Should I grab the wolf ring? Everything would have been okay. Calamite would make a lot of Calamite jokes. In what way? Like, what jokes are we talking? Nice to Calamite you, kind of thing. Yeah, I can see how that can be, like, frustrating in the background. Like, something that's subtly frustrating you without noticing it directly. But, I don't know. It's something you have to learn to play around anyway in the early game. So, when I get the upgraded Estus speeds, I'm not, like, playing around those better speeds. I'm still playing around the slower speeds. It's just kind of a nice bonus if I mess up and press it at just the wrong time or whatever. My Calamiting area. Hello, Tezo. Tezo? I assume is how you pronounce that. Welcome. I hope you enjoy your first impression of me. We're about to get to the Pasakas, which might be an interesting first impression, but we'll see. Cardinally crave Calamite, that's entirely understandable. That's so much damage. Oh my god. Also kind of drunk? Okay. Depending on what kind of drunk you are, you might enjoy the Pasaka reactions. Oh, I should probably put this on before I forget. Dark Souls DLC dragon. Yeah. I mean, how could you not, you know? There we go. You know, Calamite, Seath Skip is one that I kind of want to learn for streams just to cut time down a little bit. But it's also like, I need to see the Pasakas in every stream. That's what makes my streams, you know? So I can't do that. But like, it would also make it easier to like do Calamite more consistently, right? Because it would take less time to get there. I so rarely have this one attack me. Huh. Leftover dragons except Seath, yeah. Me too. Okay, the third Pasaka. 1, 2. Yeah, Seath's just hanging out in his goon cave. Here she is. Perfect. Okay, now I need to get the backstab. Hopefully without dying. I kind of mixed up which one was which. I kind of lost it. I think it's this one. A race trader? Yeah. 0.002 centimeters longer than every other primordial serpent. Are all the others the exact same length? Why are you slightly longer? What makes you special? Seath is an anti-vaxxer? That's so true. He definitely is. Like, I had to remember, I accidentally killed them last time. If I don't remember that they're the third Pasaka, then I'm gonna do that again and I'm gonna feel bad. Yeah, if Seath wasn't, like, a nice guy incel, he would be a lot cooler. Alpha Bro podcasts, he would. I am remembering to drink water this stream. I've only made it halfway through my water bottle, though. which is slower than usual, surprisingly. Okay, I gotta save some of it for Masher Pass for how thirsty I'm gonna be. God damn it. Why did I make that joke? It was in my brain. I could have just not said it. That wasn't necessary. Being born in the dark increases your height slightly. I see. Wait, the Four Kings. Did the Abyss actually make them bigger? Were they humans? No, I don't know the lore of the Four Kings. Hey, Dark Souls 1 had a lot of smashes. Dark Souls 2 also had quite a few. We'll see. Like, there are definitely a lot where it will absolutely be a smash. Hang a bunch of drawings of themselves. Paintings. He would get people to paint him for like... and he'd just hang up those paintings everywhere. The only reason he has them is because there are very few artists in the world of Dark Souls, and all of them paint lords exclusively. Erratophile? That was said last time, but I do not remember what that means at all, to be honest. He wears a locket with a picture of himself in it. Absolutely, he does. It's not about him looking at the paintings. It's about the fact that he has paintings of himself. That's why he would have the paintings of himself. Oh, attraction to monsters, right? I'm gonna do this for safety. Ugh. That's exactly why. Actually, might as well do this. Oh, I'm gonna need them later anyway. The Clash of Clans icon. Osiris is the one dragon you won't smash? I mean... Crazy. Is also crazy in bed, so that's all I'll say about that. Keith is just kind of a gooner. I don't really need more endurance, actually. I do want 30, just to round it out, actually. That's better. Calamy is, like, not the biggest Dragon Smash, but he's definitely up there. Ancient Dragon? Are you kidding me? Whew. I think Ancient Dragon is the biggest. Unintentionally. The biggest smash for any of the dragons for me. But that's arguable. What after a few drinks? You know, weirdly, I don't actually have that experience when drinking. I know that's like a pretty universal thing, as like a joke at least for drinking, but last few times I've gotten drunk, it was not like that. Though it might also just be because I'm a whore anyway. It's like right on the cusp. I get that. I see it. Madeira and Ancient Dragon. Madeira's pretty, but I mean, Ancient Dragon is thick, right? So, you know. At the same time. Dragon God? Not my type. The only thing that happens to me when I'm drunk is I lose all my inhibitions. So I'll either say extremely rude things or be extremely annoying. You can confirm this with everyone else or anyone who I've been drunk around. Which at this point I think is like 2 people on my Discord server. Um, you know, we'll see how the drunk stream goes. I shouldn't have done that yet. Fine. Okay. God damn. That poor clam. Oh, hey. Thanks. Seath is being somewhat helpful to me. Extremely difficult Seath fight. Out of the Hedgehog. 2006. Even if the world chooses to turn on Calamite. I will send for them as I always have. Sonic 06 is unironically such a good game, and I don't understand why people hate it. Like, a lot of people say that as a joke. I mean that with entire sincerity. I love Sonic 06. It's my favorite Sonic game. And I genuinely do not understand why people hate it. Oh yeah, we make jokes about the crystals all the time. They're absolutely 1000% exactly that. The crystal you have to break is this JO crystal. That's why you get so mad when you break it. It's so glitchy. It's not nearly as glitchy as Sonic Adventure 2. It's because other reasons. He's actually like a dark blue underneath all that. I don't know. In Sonic Adventure 2, there were multiple times where I just like clipped through the floor and died. Sonic Adventure 1 as well. And I really also love Sonic Adventure 1 because it's like you can play around it. But in Sonic 06, that just never happens. Glitches rarely cause me to die. The only times I can think of are like at the end of the Mach Speed section in Wave Ocean. Maybe a couple of random springs not doing what they're supposed to. Otherwise, there were so few times that glitches caused my death. And that happened so often in Sonic Adventure 2. Becomes immortal when you smash the JO crystal. Yeah, that's the lore. Hello, Souflaps. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying your first moments in the stream talking about smashing Seath's JO crystal. Oh, Elise? Yeah, I know people don't like Elise. I don't like Elise either, to be honest. Primarily for her character design, she looks disgusting. She's like insanely like skinny and lanky in like a very uncanny way, which is weird because the other human models in that game look fine. Elise just looks wrong. But I don't know, Elise is just like in terms of character writing and the relationship with Sonic, it's like almost there, you know? If Elise wasn't a human, that would definitely help a lot. But like if you have time to worry, then run is like such a good character moment for Sonic, especially, and the way that translates into how Elise was raised. I don't think they did her story justice. It could have been a lot better, but it's almost there, you know what I mean? It's like it's so close. Hello, Nevin. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying your bus ride. Because nobody ever likes how humans are in Sonic. Also, that's not true. Sonic Adventure 1, 2, and Sonic 06 did humans very similarly. But people didn't like it, so they changed it. Reason white people goon to become immortal. I don't know if you meant to say white people, but oh, reason why people goon. I'm still gonna assume that you meant to say white people because that's funnier. And yes. Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 were probably the most liked human characters, but it was also the first time humans were in Sonic games, so people just didn't like that fact. The reason white people... The axe is very fun. I am enjoying it quite a bit. Yeah, Blaze in 06 is incredible. I love Blaze. Blaze is my favorite. Blaze is my second favorite Sonic character, right behind Sir Percival, who, if you don't know, is Blaze in Sonic and the Black Knight. So, yeah, I need another game with Blaze playable. I mean, I did the Sonic 06 as only Blaze challenge run on my second channel, specifically because I love Blaze so much. That was a really fun run. I kind of want to continue it, but so few of the Shadow and Silver Story levels are possible as Blaze. I don't know. The Sonic story was really fun. Yes, you should play the Dark Souls trilogy. Absolutely. It is insanely different from Elden Ring. Do not go into it expecting anything similar to Elden Ring, but yes, you should play it. Eggman hardly counts as human. True. I think it's Sonic Racing Cross Worlds that Rouge is skinny in, which yeah, is tragic, but also I don't understand the outrage. Oh, everything's fine. Come back. Do not skip Dark Souls 2. Absolutely. People will tell you to skip Dark Souls 2. Don't. It's the best one. Start with Dark Souls 1, for sure. Dark Souls 1 remastered, because Prepare to Die... People who say Prepare to Die is better are nostalgia blind. But yeah, Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. People who say vanilla is better are also nostalgia blind, and I will fight for my life with that opinion. And then Dark Souls 3, obviously. Only has one version. Yeah, Prepare to Die Edition, if you want, like, a decent frame rate, you need to mod it, and even then the VSync doesn't work properly, and you need to have, what is it, the anti-aliasing off or something. I don't know, it's weird and messed up. I actually owned Prepare to Die Edition on Steam. I got it for like $60 a couple years ago. I don't want to wait for power, then... Oh, never mind. I was going to quit out so it wore off, but that works too. Most people who say vanilla Dark Souls 2 is better, in my experience, have played vanilla first. But I played Scholar and then vanilla, and like I've gone through them both a lot, trying to figure out which one I prefer and why. And Scholar is just better. Has better progression in every single way. Like the branches just are done better in Scholar. All of the enemy layouts are just better, especially places like the forest. Let me attack your arm. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the forest is just better. The Shrine of Amana is just better. The Dragon Shrine is just better. Like, Scholar is just better everywhere. I don't want to cut the tail off. This was an accident. Okay. Uh. Fun fact, Centipede Demon is the only boss that I did not die to in my first playthrough of Dark Souls 1. Let me hit you. Actually, I don't remember if I died to the Asylum Demon. I might have. Dark Souls 2 isn't even dramatically different. The main differences are just like certain stats. Like the fact that Dark Souls 2 focuses so much more on your build rather than, I don't know. It's hard to explain the differences without going super in depth into them, but the level design requires a lot more care and attention rather than just like going for it. That Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3 have. And Dark Souls 1 can have that a little bit as well. Less so, but you know, it's still kind of there. Especially in areas like this. Like Dark Souls 2 does not have anything like Lost Izalith where it's better to just run through it. It's a lot slower paced of a game because of that. And also the combat can be a lot slower in a lot of instances. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Mahler. Made fun of the soldiers attacking the trees in Scholar because they didn't understand the lore of the game at all and just thought it was a glitch. Which, of course. Dark Souls 3 has my least favorite art style of the 3 Souls games by far, and it's not even close. It was Mahler? Okay. I'm glad I remembered that correctly. Rolling attacks are weird in Dark Souls 2. I mean, I guess because I don't follow your lock-on as closely as I follow the direction you're facing, but I kind of prefer that. I think Dark Souls 2 looks the best. Like, it's not even close. Like, with Drangleic Castle and Hades Tower of Flame, I even think, like, the Undead Purgatory looks really good. Like, especially from the outside, that giant ornate building. You have places like the Cathedral of Blue, the grime of the gutter just is so visceral and intense. The Black Gulch has such a strong atmosphere because of the intense green. The outside of Broom Tower is gorgeous. The fact that you can see basically all of Shulva from the very beginning of it, like that, the way that looks is just insane. Eliam Lois is also insanely pretty. Like even the backgrounds, I love the look of Dark Souls 2. I think it has the best armor sets of any of the games by far as well. Best fashion Souls. And that includes Bloodborne and Elden Ring and stuff. Dark Souls 3 is just boring to look at. It looks exactly the same all the way through. It's ugh. Like it looks fine for 2 seconds, and then you play the game for 30 hours, and it's like, ugh, I want to look at something else. I actually think Drangleic did a similar thing with Anor Londo, with like it being kind of gray and washed out, but like, or with Anor Londo being beige and then Drangleic Castle being gray. But it does that in a way to make it look clean and ornate, but it also has like the sludge halfway through, and all the stuff to make it seem grimy too. I don't know. I really like Dark Souls 2. It's so good. Have a good night, Seal. Thank you for being here while you could, and I hope you have a good night. Yeah, it's definitely very difficult to match up armor sets in Elden Ring. Cool. Oh, really? She gave me that for free. That jump changed your Dark Souls 1 life. You don't have to do the jump. You can go closer to the middle and around that way. You're just going to be attacked more often, and it's a lot better to have, like, high poise. My favorite armor set in Elden Ring is probably the Carrion Knight set, to be honest. Or the Snow Witch set. I really like the Snow Witch set. But those are obvious. I also really like the... I forget what it's called. The, like, noble robe. The one that Raya wears. The Snake Lady Raya. Oh. Everything's fine. That did not one-shot me. I also like the Banished Knight set as well. You don't like the shoulders? That's fair. The cape is probably my least favorite part of it, but I still think it looks nice. The dancer set is also really good. I like the crow crop top from the DLC as well. Okay, Nido time. Crucifixion woods are the most colorful? Are they? I guess so. Irithyll is kind of blue. Lothric is kind of orangey sometimes. Kinda. Did they never change that? The noble shoes changing the size of your bulge? Because for some reason I remember hearing that they changed that, but I don't know how true that is. You can take off the cape? I haven't done box quest in my current playthrough. They never changed that? That's awesome. Okay, well. I wanted to do a playthrough of Elden Ring. Actually, I got pretty far in it. That uses the build from the network test, the Carrion Knight? Aria Knight? I don't remember. But that build from the network test, and it was pretty fun, but the spells get outclassed really quickly. Like, really, really quickly. You have to get better ones, but in order to get better ones, you have to, like, make more progress to where those spells are outclassed, unless you use, you know, like, the really, really good spells immediately, like a Duelist Moonblade or Carrion Slicer or whatever. Carrion Slicer is really good all the way through the game, I guess. But it's always, like, the variants of the spells that the class starts with are just always worse than, you know, Night Comet. I pressed the roll button so many times. Favorite area in the DLC? The place with the least spider scorpions. I don't know, actually. Probably... the ruins are so pretty, and I love them, but there's so many scorpions there, and I'm constantly having a panic attack when I'm going through there, so I can't say the ruins of Rao. I don't know. I mean, my favorite color is yellow, and all I get is the Xanthus set, which admittedly looks really, really good in Dark Souls 2, but that's kind of it. 2 hits without power within. Oh, okay. If I had used a strong attack. Phase 2 pinwheel for half a second. Bonk. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the problem. Like, you just get Night Comet, and that's the best one. There's nothing else that you can use. So it doesn't make sense to use the cooler, more fun spells. Yeah, I used or I mean when I got to the place just before the city in the Elden Ring DLC, I didn't know that the spider scorpions would be there. I genuinely, like, instantly had a panic attack. That was awful. um, I try to stream every Wednesday at 3 p.m. PST. Sometimes Tuesdays at the same time as well. Um, so just convert from whatever time zone you're in. Pacific Standard Time. Oh, I still have the orange chartering on. Oops. Excuse me. I don't think I've ever seen that Black Knight come up right there. That's interesting. You know, okay. So this is probably going to be a lot for those of you who aren't in the Discord server. um, but I'm plural, which means there are, uh, in the most succinct terms, there's other people in my head. um, DID is a cause of being plural. I am not personally, or I don't personally have DID. It's a different cause for me. But if you're struggling to understand the idea of it, it's similar to DID, for instance. And all of my headmates have different, like, I don't even know how to describe this without it sounding insane. Plurality is already kind of weird. One of them is named Luna, who likes moths. And we realized that because of Noster from Elden Ring. And I have entomophobia. But for some reason, because Luna realized that she likes moths, because of the Elden Ring boss, my entomophobia is no longer affected by moths at all. So, least disorienting walk through the tomb. Plurality is very, very difficult to explain now. I should cast this once I get down. She also chose her name before realizing that the specific real-life moth she likes is called a Luna moth, which was cute. No poise. Okay. It's not multiple personalities. It's I mean, it depends on the person, really. For some people, it is like having multiple personalities, and they prefer describing it like that. For me, it's a lot more like just having multiple people in my brain. We're a lot more similar. Uh-oh, greed. A lot more similar to just multiple different people. I'm surprised that worked out, to be honest. Rather than multiple personalities. So that's the words that we use to describe it for ourselves. Every plural person you've met has been awesome. True. I don't think I've ever met a plural person who wasn't a really cool person. I guess that also applies to myself. But I think I'm biased towards myself in that way. Okay, DLC time. Well, some plural people do genuinely describe their headmates as different personalities. The reason the clinical name was changed to DID, to dissociative identity disorder, rather than multiple personality disorder, is because multiple personalities isn't how everyone experiences DID. Everyone with DID experiences DID. And again, I'm plural without DID, so it's a completely different thing anyway. Hello, Carl Gustav Young. Welcome. It depends on the person, or on the system rather. System is the term for the bodies of plural people and like the people in their brain. um, for me, and actually for the majority of plural people that I know, yeah, you should refer to them as whoever is currently talking. So like most of the time I would just be referred to as Ruby, right? Rather than, we don't have a name for our system. I guess Ruby just applies to all of us as well if someone is talking to all of us. But yeah, it really depends on the person, because some people do like to be referred to as multiple people. It really depends. So just ask whoever you're talking to. That's probably the best practice. Oh my goodness. Stop spinning. Actually, keep spinning. Jesus Christ. That worked out shockingly well. Peak has died. My favorite boss in this series. Obliterated instantly. I'm surprised that I was able to position the tail swipe. I didn't know you could actually do that by just like standing slightly to the right of its ass. Very interesting tech that I'll never use again. Yeah, the Greataxe is pretty good. I mean, it is a Greataxe, to be fair. The Dragon King Greataxe and the Black Knight Greataxe both do more damage without buffs, but with buffs, obviously the Demon's Greataxe is still better. The Greataxe is still really, really good. And if you're doing infusions, the Greataxe is the best one in the game. Thank you so much, Oriam. Okay, I guess just for that, I'll do Calamy. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Whoa. Just walking at a brisk pace. Yeah, unfortunately, that does work for Sanctuary Guardian. Well, according to plan, you've hit my weakness, giving me money. Now I have to do Calamy. In that case, gonna go activate him now. Bonk. 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 There he goes. Are we still going with the headcanon that Calamy uses any pronouns? The DLC elevators? Yeah, they're really good. I really love the fact that there are so few elevator designs in Dark Souls. Like, there's the ones in like the Firelink Shrine area, like the New Londo-esque elevators. Or not so few elevator designs, but so many. There's the one in the Demon Ruins that's just completely different. There's the one in there's the cages in Sen's Fortress. That's, again, completely different from anything else in the game. Even the one that goes from the Burg to Firelink is completely different. The way they use so many different elevator designs is genuinely super interesting and adds a lot of world building, in my opinion. And then every single one in Ulasil uses the same design, which I think is really cool. I probably won't die to this guy. How low requirement the Obsidian Greatsword is? What's their requirements? Unless you're referring to all dragon weapons in general. In which case, the Dragon Greatsword would like to have a word with you. 2? 2. I probably won't die to Artorias. It's looking good so far, at least. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Very easy. 16 dex and 20-something strength. I'm excited to do an Obsidian Greatsword run, honestly. Like, I'll probably just end up using a Sunlight Blade on it. Just because, you know, that's kind of the thing that you have to take advantage of when you're using it, because it's the only dragon weapon that can be buffed or whatever. But, I am very much looking forward to that, because it'll be extremely early DLC. Yeah, soul level 1 Artorias is rough. Having to learn how to do him hitless is not super easy. Bonk. What is the current shown AR? 600, flat. Does that change with Power Within? It does not. It does change with Red Tearstone Ring, though, I believe. I don't know why I killed that Mimic, to be honest. Everything's fine. The flat damage is 350. Or the base damage, rather, is 350. Which means 250 of that is coming from scaling, which is surprisingly low, actually. With the requirements and being two-handed. It has, like, E-scaling and dexterity, so I'm not even worrying about that. I think I exactly hit the dex requirement. Oops. Yeah. Right? No, I'm one above. It's 8 on Pyromancer, not Bandit. Ugh. Dark Souls, indeed. What's the AR one-handed? 543. That's still surprisingly high. I just pressed the Elden Ring two-handed input. I held Y and tapped R1. Something is wrong with me. And that's something because of playing Elden Ring. Jesus. Stamina to come back and obliterate this thing before it even stands up. And actually remember to pick up the key this time. Unlike usual. Alright, hardest part of the DLC. With 40 vigor, but without favor and protection. Hopefully this goes decently. Ah! Ah! Stop moving around so much. Okay, heal. Nice. Oh, the hard part. These guys have probably killed me more than Manus. Like, genuinely. Just because their spells do so much damage. Would John Dark Souls 1 be Giant Dad? Maybe. It might be just like the night build, though. Or like box art. Oh, Manus isn't the hard part. Manus is easy. The hard part was those 3 blowheads and the 2 sorcerers. There we go. The Elite Knight. Lemon is John Dark Souls. Or Dark Souls 1 specifically. The Willowsale residents, they're pretty funny. I like them a lot. Because being a witch is hot. Obviously. Yeah, doesn't the... Isn't the... Is it... Jesus Christ. Isn't it the Astora straight sword? For Dawn Dark Souls 1? Dawn Dark Souls 2 would be the Baram set, which is the best armor set in Dark Souls 2 anyway, so... Jesus Christ. I would have said that in very different words, but yeah. Yeah. Fallen Knight set? Isn't that the one where the guy pissed his pants? Because yes, that is a very cool looking set. I think my favorite fashion in Dark Souls 3 right now is the Fire Witch chest piece and all the leggings and gloves. What makes the Dark Sword the John Dark Souls 3 weapon? I don't think I've ever used that in Dark Souls 3. I did a run with it in Dark Souls 1 a while back. This did not have a follow-up, surprisingly. I thought I misread that. The tell is slightly different for the one that does and doesn't have a follow-up, but that was such a fast jump. Did he stagger? Okay. Ah, that's unfortunate. Could have done hitless Manus without that. Okay, well, not if it's gonna do this the whole time. Whoa. Okay. Stop doing your combo! Well, I mean, yeah, but PvP doesn't make John Dark Souls. I think the average build for most players would do that, not PvP build, right? Which is why I say Elite Knight in Dark Souls 1, or why Elite Knight makes sense in Dark Souls 1. No, that missed. Okay, that's fine. That's the follow-up. I was spam rolling because I'm used to Elden Ring. It's a not spam roll. Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I would say probably Astora straight sword for John Dark Souls 3 as well, to be honest. Yeah, I had to I had to learn how to dodge those spells through pure trial and error, which is the only thing that required any trial and error at all in Dark Souls 1. Learning Menace was my least favorite experience I've ever had in Dark Souls 1. I did that in the Asylum items only video because I fought Menace super early so I could get Pursuers, because I thought that would be an interesting way to do that run. And that was like when I learned how to fight Menace, with like a +3 Black Knight sword at level 50 or whatever. And God, those darkness attacks, they took so long to learn how to dodge. Was that swords? Okay, again, I'm not talking about like PvP or noob builds or whatever. I'm talking about the average Dark Souls 3 player build, which would probably be like broadsword or straight sword or some straight sword class weapon, realistically. And because I've never seen anyone use the dark sword or the Irithyll straight sword. No, wrong one. I thought this was the other one. God damn it. I died to Menace. What? I thought it was the ring, and then it was the rain. You know, I thought I knew the difference in the tell for that one, but apparently I didn't. It's not about the poise, it's about the failure to position correctly, because I read the animation wrong. I wish the Irithel straight sword was actually good. I did a playthrough with it, and it was so underwhelming. Like, I did a joke playthrough with the Astora straight sword. Dark Souls 3 with a raw ass video I did a while ago. And that was just so much better than the Irithel straight sword. I'm gonna heal. Irithel rapier. I think I wanted to use that in a run, but ended up not for whatever reason. Yeah, it's just not a very good weapon. Irithel straight sword. I really wish it was, because it looks cool, but maybe if you could power stance it with like the broadsword to make up for that damage, you know? But just because you're getting so little base damage, that frost just is not useful in Dark Souls 3 until you get to like Gale. And even then. What? Was that too close still? Really? Huh. I have not failed to dodge that attack in so long. And here I am. I blame this entirely on the Elden Ring. It's because I was too close, I'm pretty sure, but like, I thought that would be far enough. Okay, this is the one. This is the one where I successfully beat Manus, who I should be extremely consistent at by now, considering I beat Manus hitless more than any other boss in the game. Outside of, like, gargoyles, probably. I need to finish that. After I finish the video I was recording yesterday, I'll probably end up playing more Celeste instead of Elden Ring because of this experience. Forgot to do power with him. Okay, power with him. Two hands, walk in. This is the one. Here's hitless Manus, probably. Are you kidding me? Stop doing this. This is fine. That's the ring. Maybe I do know it a little bit at least. Okay. One more. What did I say? Hitless Manus. Jesus, that should not have taken that many attempts. Okay. Wake up dusk, like a good person. And Calamite time. I could feel it in my bones. I would have cried if I got hit by that last attack. I saw it coming. I saw the future, and I avoided that future. I swear it was hitless. Please believe me. I'm gonna let the Goth cutscene play out and go to the bathroom real quick. Once I get there. Manus must give the worst spanks ever. Or the best, depending on what you're into. I kind of forgot. Never mind, I'm not gonna continue that statement. There was a lot going on in my brain there. And I don't think that the relation that my brain had with those things is understandable from an outside perspective. So okay, I'll be right back as soon as the cutscene starts. Okay, we're back.
Yes. A truer shot was never loosed. That bat will be grounded for a good spell. The rest is in thine hands. I await good tidings. Ah, dragon slaying. Knighthood's highest calling.
Okay, I am back. Calamite is Calamite. Bowman. Dragon laying. Knighthood's highest calling. Incredible. Okay, time for the most annoying boss run. Because it's nothing but 3 dogs. And I don't feel like dealing with the entire thing. Trans Hood's highest calling. True. Come on. You know, I think it's pretty fitting that I'm fighting Calamite just before the Dark Souls 3 Smasher Pass. How many slides are in the Dark Souls 3 Smasher Pass? If you're still here? Fallout 3 reference. I have not played Fallout 3, so I do not get that joke, unfortunately. $180. And how many were in the Dark Souls 2? Jesus, there we go. I want to get an idea for how quickly I need to skip through the hollows. The joke is Fallout 3. Damn. Unfortunately, despite being a transgender woman, I don't like Fallout New Vegas. I tried. I really wanted to like it. But I just did not, for whatever reason. Drink the goddamn Estus! Okay. Hey, Calamite. How's it going? Okay, so it's not going to be nearly as long as the Dark Souls 2 one. Good to know. Slam. And... not bad damage at all. That third hit was extremely greedy, but it worked out. Oh, right, my bad. You could have checked during Gwen. Okay, not gonna do the third hit that time. Oh my god. Someone commented on a video. Oh my god! They didn't comment that. They said... They commented something like, oh, that was so cool or whatever, and put a timestamp. And the timestamp was me dodging the Calamite tail swipe attack specifically. Like, it was in the middle of the Calamite fight. And is that, like, actually that difficult to dodge? Yeah, that attack is fucked. That specific attack of Calamites is, like, the one bad thing about that fight. I hate that attack a lot, because you can use it at a close range when it's more like a long-range punish attack, and it's just weird. You need the ring knights. Understandable. Okay, hopefully I don't get one shot again. The timing on that dodge always feels so weird. It always feels like earlier than it needs to be because the hitbox is way bigger than it should be. Okay. Doing pretty good. The ring knights have your ring. Because it's the ring city. Uh-oh. Shit. Everything's fine. Everything's a-okay. And that's victory. There you go. Not bad. Did I pick up my souls? Okay, I did. Not that I needed the 5k, but I have it. Oh, it was a lot of butt slam attacks, yeah. Lots of gliding. A lot more than usual, anyway. Okay, Gwen should be pretty quick. Hopefully. This fight has pleased me. I wish that were me. You worry soul. The hardest boss in the game. Can you commission body pillows? I'm sure you can. I know you can, like, there are places where you can upload art to put onto a body pillow. At the very least. And you could just commission the art for that. By chance, are you getting a Calamite body pillow? And also, for a friend, could you send me one? Okay. Get out so that the Halberd Knight despawns. Red bubble. Yeah. Alright, what's our damage like? Hilarious. Exactly what I wanted. Demon Soul Smasher Pass when? Soon, hopefully. That's one I could do on my own, at least. If REM doesn't want to. Oh my goodness, perfect timing. Alright. Thoughts on the weapon? It's pretty solid. I mean, it's a Greataxe. It's gonna do good damage. I think the Dragon King Greataxe kind of just outclasses it. Same with the Black Knight Greataxe. If you want to infuse a Greataxe, this one is a lot lighter and has a lot lower requirements than the Demon's Greataxe. That one is just going to give you better damage if you're going all out anyway. So this is kind of a niche weapon, but I mean, I don't know. If you want to use like a lightning or fire infusion, this is the weapon for you. If you want specifically high AR on that. But otherwise, yeah, pretty fun run. I like the weapon because big number funny. Anyway. The Mist Noble. True. Not doing the Elden Ring one? That's fair. That would be a lot. Alright. Did you send me the Smasher Pass? I don't remember. I think you did, right? You linked it on Discord? We can do that real quick. I expect that one to be funny. Yeah, Discord? Okay. It's gonna be black for a second. One moment. Let me see if I can find it. Got it. Okay. One moment. All right. Have a good day, Piss Face. Thank you for being here while you could. Let me make sure I'm signed into the right Google account too. Okay. And slideshow. That's not the button I wanted to press. How do you play the slideshow? Oh, here it is. Okay. 255 bosses. Jesus. Okay. What music do we want? Should I go with Dark Souls 3 music specifically? Or should I do Demon Souls character creation music again? What do we think? Let me change my window capture. Hopefully this is showing the right thing. Okay. Demon Souls is a vibe. Okay. Demon Souls, Souls of Mist. Extended. This might be loud. Oh, right. I have my desktop audio muted. How's that on volume? Dark Souls 3 Firelink alternative theme? Oh, true. Secret Betrayal? That's my favorite Dark Souls 3 soundtrack. That's actually a really good idea. Secret Betrayal. It's 3 extended. How's the volume? This one's a little quiet. If it would play? Okay. I'll turn it up a tad bit. Okay. Dark Souls 3 Smasher Pass made by our very kind friend Oriam here. A to Z order. Dark Souls.fandom, probably better than Extra Life, at least. But I don't know, we'll see. You Abyss Watchers? Okay. I feel like a lot of these are going to be my same, like, if it's a woman, smash. If it's a man, pass. So as a all at once, you know what, yeah, for this one specifically, it's a smash either way. But just a shorthand, I think I need to come up with something for that. I don't know, I'll probably figure it out eventually. Smash, obviously. That's gonna be smash if it's a woman. I'll just say that. You'll know what I mean. Smash, obviously. Smash, obviously. Okay, but the pilgrims themselves that actually spawn the angels, those would be a pass, unfortunately. I don't know if you didn't find a picture for that, but the like actual hosts of the angels are a pass. All these pass the Harkness test. That's very important information. That's a very obvious smash, just like last time. Oops, wrong way. Birch woman. Look at those curves. You know, it's kind of two of them actually. There's one here and another one here, almost. They both got those vibes of that curve. That's gonna be a pass. Just kind of a guy, kind of boring. Roaring Knights. Yeah, the Roaring Knight would also be a smash, but the Black Knights are a smash for sure. Royal Outrider. I mean, any like Erythilian Knight. Like, look at the armor. That just has to be a smash. The Brigand. That's gonna be a pass. Facial hair doesn't do it for me. Not that kind. I like that. You know, for sexual health, I would have to say pass. But I'm tempted. Flexible, yeah. Yeah, smash. The ones in this specific area, do they have different designs? They do, I didn't know that. I know the Cathedral Knights have different, like, assist drop chances and other parameters or whatever, but that's going to be smash if they're a woman, like usual. Smash. I would smash Solaire. Absolutely, I would smash Solaire. Who do you think I am? Of course I would. Okay, both at the same time. No comment. Do they look different? A little bit, I think. I think the like fabric here and stuff is different. Smash if they're a woman, I guess. The coat color is different. Yeah, this one's kind of silvery and this one's blue. Yeah. Or this one's more like chainmail, I guess. Oh, and the red robes. I guess you can't really see that with the lighting very well, but yeah. Anyway, Corpse Grub. Oh, that's a tough one. I think that's gonna be a pass. Corvians. That's unfortunately also gonna be a pass, but I get it. Yeah, that's a smash. That's the easiest smash of my life, absolutely. Unfortunately a pass, but again, I definitely get it. That's gonna be a pass. His weapon is cool, but I'd rather use it myself. Creighton? Wait, is it just straight up actual Creighton? I didn't know that. That's really funny. That's gonna be a pass. Which I think I also said for Dark Souls 2. Smash, obviously. Smash, obviously. From Fear and Hunger. I'll have to show that to Aurora, because she would definitely get that a lot better than I would. Is that the actual dialogue? If that's the actual dialogue from Fear and Hunger, I think I might need to play that. Yeah, Smash, obviously. You hit its balls. That's the whole fight. Obviously, Smash. Also, obvious Smash. Easiest Smash in the game. Smash. Smash if it's a woman. Smash. They're religious. That's a pass. It's the real dialogue. That's so awesome. Deacons, those are... I get they're religious. Like, I get that it's a group thing, but like they're still religious, right? So that's gonna be a pass. Deep Accursed. Smash. Yeah. Demon, smash, obviously. Yeah, obvious, easy smash again. I also like them a lot. I really like that design. Both for very normal reasons, obviously. Demon in Pain. What's the demon below? The demon from below look like? Well, is this like, are these both the active states? I think they're both gonna be a smash. The Demon Prince, absolutely smash. Like, not even a question for that one. Demon Statue, I don't remember what I said for Dark Souls 1, but smash for both. If I said something different, smash, obviously. Devout Bomber, is that what they're actually called? That's incredible. The center of a religious group smash, too much pent-up aggression and self-loathing. True. That would be a pretty terrible time. Okay, that's gonna be a pass, but like, that's an awesome name. Out of the Deep. Also a pass, they're still religious. You know what? I get it. There's also definitely some boob shape going on there. That's a smash for sure. Breakblood Knight. Smash if they're a woman. That's a really good armor set, actually. I really like that armor set. The Drang Knights. One on the right's looking kind of twinky, but they're both passes for me. I'm gonna move the chat actually. Nope, not that one. Let me move the goddamn chat window. Okay, there we go. I love the director's commentary up here. That really adds a lot to it, I think. The Epsilon in unison? Yeah. Yeah, they would. But yeah, Smash, absolutely. Evangelist, again, I was an evangelical for a while. Like, they're chubby women, but maybe the two lesbians, actually. The two lesbians hiding out in that shack in the Undead Settlement, but most of them would be a pass. Yeah, it adds a lot. I really appreciate the dialogue. Smash if they're women. Smash either way. That's awesome armor. And like water sports? Anyway, it's gonna be a pass. Gonna be a pass. That's gonna be an obvious smash. Easiest smash of my life. No, thank you. That's a pass. Yeah. Definitely pass. The monster. Yeah. I'm not either, don't worry. They're called Gertrude's Knight? I thought they were just called Winged Knights. Pass. Smash if they're open, actually. Smash, absolutely. I was playing the DLC with a partner, and she called these things Marty McFlies. It's gonna be a pass, but I exclusively call these things Marty McFlies now. Giant hound rat. A big ear. It's gonna be a pass. That's gonna be a smash, obviously. It just whatever the Dark Souls fandom said. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm pretty sure they're just called Winged Knights, like Golden Winged Knights or whatever. That's gonna be a pass, unfortunately. But I get it. I mean, they're smart, you know? Smash if they're a woman. Smash. Pass. The hotter giant crab. The cooler giant crab. Sorry, the cooler gate crab. I get it. But I think they're a little bit too spiky for my taste. They are covered in it. True. They've already gotten a lot of smashes and they're getting some more from me. Okay, Half-Light. Wait, Half-Light isn't a guy? Is this lore? Minor spelling mistake. I mean, smash either way, but are they actually like supposed to be a woman? Because the armor here is definitely very much giving Twinkie man vibes. Oh, this is a hard decision. My brain is like constantly jumping between smash for obvious reasons and pass because look at it. I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't think I need to give an answer. Havel, again, smash if they're a woman. I think we've gone over that before. Wolnir, what are these growths? That's the pick that showed up. Made guy noises? I don't remember. Holdo? Yeah, that's the thing, right? Smash for obvious reasons. But like, it's just not doing it for me, and I don't know why. Wolnir, the growths here are kind of throwing me off. I'm not vibing with that. Like, I think they're skulls. I think they're supposed to be skulls, but they look like growths, and it's not doing it for me. Hobbled Cleric. That's gonna be a pass. That's a pass for sure. Hollow Manservant. I get it. But I think that is gonna have to be a pass for me, unfortunately. It's a pass. That's a pass. That's a pass. That's a pass. Oh my god, I hate how those things look. That's a pass. Smash. Even if you're muddy. Yeah, that's a smash too. Smash, obviously. Smash. 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 Tentative pass. After the Ring Knights had their way with... Oh my god. That's gonna be a pass. An easier pass than Argo, but definitely a pass. I think there's lore on this one's gender, but Smash if they're a woman. Just because I feel like the vibe works stellar. That's a pass. That's a pass. That's a pass. Yeah, no, that's a pass. That's a pass. Actually, I kind of like that armor. I don't know. It's still a pass, though. Smash if they're a woman, for sure. Blonde or pale shade. What sword is that? I don't recognize that. I don't know. I'm having a hard time with this one. Smash if they're a woman, I guess, just because it's easy. Bigfoot sightings. That's an awesome way to put it. Kirk. Kirk, I think, is going to be a pass. He's a bit too spiky for me, you know? Smash. Both of them at the same time, especially. That's a Moran blade? Looks very different from how it does in Demon Souls. Anyway, yeah. Twin Princes, very easy smash. Radigan was a giant because of their hair and because Renala can't walk anymore. That's insane. That's incredible. Lothric Knights are just pictures of them aura farming. I mean, yeah, look at them. It's gonna be a smash for sure. That's a pass. That's a... I mean, it's an easy smash, but I just wanted to look at them longer. I've always wondered why these are called lycanthropes. Like, they're being crucified, but they're not, like, wolf-like at all. Maybe it's just, like, a mutation that made them more beast-like, and that qualifies as lycanthropy in the Dark Souls world, but not necessarily werewolves, you know? I mean, that's a pass. If they actually fought the lycanthropes, yeah. I hate these guys' weapons as well, just because they stab you so many times with it when they run, and it does way more damage than it feels like it should for some random guy with a big stick. I mean, Smash, obviously. Smash, obviously. World's worst staff to grind for? I don't think I've ever done it. Is there any specific reason to? Does it, like, have good damage or whatever compared to other staffs? Man grub. No. That's gonna be a pass. It's just a Bloodborne reference. Dark Souls 3 has Bloodborne 2. True. Smash if they're women, which they don't look like it considering the beards. Mistranslation? Yeah, maybe. That makes sense. Smash, obviously. I mean, it has to be a smash for the name. Luck scaling staff, but trading it gives the layer armor. Or the shield. Okay, that makes sense. You know, I made a joke about this in my Dark Souls 3 playthrough. But like it's exactly like the Herald Knight, where it's smash for obvious reasons, but also pass because fucking look at it. You know? Yeah, if it was a woman grub, yeah, maybe. The aftermath of Seath. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that makes sense. And that's why it's called the monstrosity of sin, the monstrosity of lust. Merkman. Oh, these things. That's a pass, but I hate them. Not like scaling. It increases soul gain by 20% and can be sold for Solar Shield. Okay. Osiris. I mean, we talked about this earlier. I don't like the air tentacles. You know what? I see what they were saying now. I think that is a pass. That one's gonna be a pass, unfortunately. The beard is throwing me off. Crazy. Who? Which one? Are we talking about Osiris? Peasant Hollow? I thought those were just more jailers. Just different designs. They're both passes though. Okay, Osiris is a man, unfortunately. um, blowing up like a Kirby boss. I mean, that's a smash, obviously. Workman is absolutely a gilf. True. I get it. That's gonna be a pass for me. Smash, obviously. Pass. But smash. Yeah, pass smash, I think, is the best way to go about that. That's a pass. That's a smash. That's a pass, unfortunately. Rapier champion. Does it not have a name? Also, isn't that Wolnir's crown? Incredible fit. Wow. Yeah, smash is going to piss him off, exactly. Ravenous Crystal Lizard, that's a smash, obviously. That's a pass. Yeah, I get it. I definitely get it. That's 1000% a smash. That is Wolnir's crown, yeah. Awesome. I'm glad I knew that from sight. Smash, obviously. This one looks like a Pokemon, by the way. I mean, so do the Crystal Lizards, but this one gives a vibe. Like, it uses rollout, you know? That's a pass, unfortunately. It's a pass. Actually, I like the armor set, but no, it is a pass. That's also a pass. Smash for obvious reasons. Smash for obvious reasons. Oh yeah, this is the guy who invades you in the DLC, huh? I completely forgot about this guy. So Levin repeats the actions of his clone, so if he smashes a clone, he has to repeat the actions. You can fix him. Good luck with that. Anyway, smash. Actually, I'm gonna pass on Lido, but then all Silver Knights are still smash. I mean, yeah, obviously smash. Obviously. Pass. Smash. Smash for obvious reasons. Gale is unfortunately not my type. So that is a pass, but I definitely get it if you're into it. Olgrew's got a smoldering all? Yeah. I mean, they're still smash. They're even hotter, right? Free day? Is it free day? Freed? Freed? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's free day. Can make me worse. Can unfix you. Soul of Cinder. Just because it reuses Gwyn's theme, that's a pass. Darnpound. The yellow pregnant one? Isn't that the only pregnant one in the entire game? And it also like has that unique puke attack. They're both passes, either way. Smash. Rita? Rita. Okay, yeah, that's what I figured. I was pretty sure I remembered the pronunciation from the cutscene, but I couldn't remember. Yeah, smash. Obviously. A crazy smash, but still a smash. That's a pass. That's just an old man. King of the Storm? King of the Storm would be smash. Nameless King, I get it, but not my type. It's gonna be a pass. That's also gonna be a pass. Pass. Smash. How many are we in? I want to make sure I don't just like skip straight to the end. It's gonna be a pass for sure. I hate these things. I hate the whole vibe they got going on. You're smashing millions of people who perpetuated Gwyn's tyranny. True. Winged Knight. Smash if they're a woman. Just wolf. Smash. I mean, that's gonna be a pass. I thought these were like failed dragons or something. I didn't think they were called wretches. I don't know. Whatever. That's a pass. I get it. But it is a pass for me, just for my health. Heizel, gonna be a smash. Nameless is only hot. Oops. When he's 30% bigger during the dragon riding phase. Exactly. Yeah, you get it. And he's on a dragon, which makes him 10 times hotter immediately. So. That's gonna be a pass, unfortunately. NPC time. Bifectra this time, though. Okay. Skipping those that don't got different forms, like the Judicator. Okay. I mean, she needs to eat something. I'm gonna say... If I could get her to eat, then smash. Not like as like a sexual thing, but just like as a I want to help you. You need food. Goddamn. Epic with their tail, yeah. I mean, either way. um, I mean, it's still a dragon woman, though. I don't know. Smash. It's fine. Smash. Henri? Yeah, I really don't like the fact that Henri is always the opposite gender of your character. I think Henri should always be a woman. I think you should be allowed to be a lesbian in Dark Souls. You're smashing her entire skeleton. You have to be gentle. Jesus. Anyway, female Henri. Absolutely smash. Male Henri makes me sad, so pass. Oh god, that's a pass for sure. Aegon? He is aura farming. But he's not my type, unfortunately, so that's gonna be a pass. Cornix is also a pass. Oh, Andre. I mean, it's a pass, but just because I'm not into men. Letting you be a lesbian is the only thing that Elden Ring got right. True, yeah, absolutely. That's the only improvement they had over Dark Souls 3. I get it again, but that is gonna have to be a smash for me. Or a pass. It's gonna have to be a pass. Billionaire's a smash. Easy. 1000%. I still don't like them. Still a pass. Unfortunately. Aqua is gonna be a pass. Podrick is still a pass. Emma is the gilf. I'm gonna let that speak for itself because I don't want to say anything definitive there. Arena is a smash, obviously. Firekeeper, obvious smash. Amnesiac Lap, obvious smash. I actually don't remember this character. I do like the armor though. Grey Rat of the Undead Settlement. Grey Rat. I have to think about this one because I do like it, Grey Rat. He's nice. But he's not my type, so I think that is gonna have to be a pass. Painting Woman. I'm pretty sure this one's a child. Actually, it's Patches, but with amnesia. Interesting. I don't know. Either way, it's gonna be a pass. Unfortunately. Horace growls in bed. Grey Rat is not ready for sex. True, yeah. For his mental health, also, just a pass on Grey Rat. Horace, if with Henri, smash. But on his own, pass. Is she wearing the same stuff as Emma? No, she's not. Okay, I don't know why I thought she was. That's gonna be a pass, unfortunately. Still a gilf, but no. No comment. Carla, smash, obviously. Smash, obviously. Smash, obviously. It's gonna be a pass. Isn't that? No, is it? I don't remember what armor Spelunker uses for her avatar. Anyway, Patches. Also still a pass. Dark Souls 3 Patches makes me sad compared to Dark Souls 1 Patches. Smash, obviously. Pass. Pass, but he's chill. Little Slave Nightingale. Again, not my type, but I get it. But that's gonna be a pass for me. Lilith, also a pass. He needs to eat something too. Actually, he probably does. He's just shriveled because he got burnt alive. Wilhelm, also an aura farmer. Still gonna be a pass. Velka. Smash. Orbeck is extremely twinky. I really like Orbeck, actually. His questline is so endearing. And just for that, I think I'm gonna have to say a smash on that one. Stonehump Tag. Really like her? I don't remember where she's at. Where is she? Like, where do you talk to her at? Anyway, that's another gilf. Smash, obviously. Shira. I also don't recognize this character at all. Sort of Dreadkeep. Oh, right. Okay, DLC. That makes sense. Dragon form. I wish they had more meat on their bones, like the Dark Souls 1 form. But, I mean, smash both of them. Orbeck dying at the end of his quest is, yeah. But, like, I don't know. Orbeck is funny. He's like, we'll have our very own school. I love it. What? What is this? Bad Dragon Boy failure and Seath Toxic Yaoi. What is this from? Dark Souls 3 dragon forms are yuck. Yeah, but they're dragons. They're dragon forms, you know? It's worth it. Oh, you didn't end it with a Pasaka this time. Brought it up in like 3 times in a stream. That's really funny. Love Toxic Yaoi. They are skinny, but they're still dragon forms. Anyway. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm gonna go eat food and drink water. And bony, but they're still dragon forms. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I love you all, and I don't know how to end this.